it's Lauren Daisy. Welcome back to the Pretty and Witty podcast. Today's guest on the podcast is actually a very long time friend of mine, over 10 years now, I think it is. And that is Ryan Williams. He is an aspiring screenwriter, scriptwriter, and the host of the podcast Living the Dream. I love Ryan so much. Like I said, he is one of my dearest friends, but outside of that and outside of my bias, I think he is so incredibly talented, and I'm so excited for the world to, see his wonderful TV shows, film, plays. He's literally written so many things and he is so incredibly talented, and I think that you guys will really love his work. And it was so interesting to talk to him about his process and how he goes about writing things, from characters to plot lines to how do you even go about pitching something like that, And he's also started a new podcast, so that was really interesting. I was a guest on that as well, if you want to go over and watch my episode. But yeah, it was so fun. This is an extra long one. I think this is the longest podcast so far, but I really hope you guys like it. Okay, welcome.
It's like my first time being a guest on anything.
Yeah,
so exciting.
How exciting. I know. I feel like with other ones, people be like, when people watch this one, they'll be like, she's being so much less unprofessional, so much more unprofessional than she was with the other ones.
It's like they know each other.
I'm like, no, it's fine. We go way back. It's so fun. Do you remember when you were when you were a kid or, teenhood, kind of that time, when you realized you were more into the creative side of things?
I think it was definitely mid-teens. I think when I realized I could pursue a career in it, or a serious hobby at that point, I think, and studying, choosing to study media at school. So yeah, it was then. I think that's when you sort of develop. You're like, oh, this is what I'm interested in, what I like doing, and then that moment where you realise, oh, I can actually just do this as a real thing.
Yeah, it's an actual. People would pay me to do this. That's
people
crazy.
Pay other people to do it. That's
I
crazy.
know, yeah. So then, obviously, you're probably going to be like, why are you asking me this? You know this, but the people don't know.
The people.
So what did you study at school?
So yeah, for GCSE,
not massive English.
Yeah, okay. So for GCSE, it was media studies.
I always forget that you did media studies as well, because we weren't in the same class.
No, it was split into two, wasn't it? So I did media studies alongside drama, GCSE, and history, because they all go together, obviously. But
I was going to say history is such a rogue one to throw in there at the end.
History, it was, it's well, you can do the ones you want to do, but have a backup or a serious one. That was always the conversation with my parents and other people. And I liked history. I enjoyed doing history. And then into sixth form and A-level, I did creative media BTEC and history, because I like history.
I didn't realise that you did history at A-level as well.
Yeah. Biggest mistake of my life, I think. I think just by the time it was over, it was I do not want to go to uni, even as a backup thing. I don't want to be a historian. I don't want to study that. And I think the more I did media, I was like, oh, this is it. In some capacity, whether it's writing, editing, whatever, I want to do this. And I think that's it. The interest in history just kind of fell off. And I kind of gave less of effort into the history side and more of an effort into the media side. So I wish I, for A-level and sixth form, I wish I did theatre studies alongside media. That would have helped. But you live and you learn, and I had a great time in history, as a class, great memories, all that. But it was just by the time it kind of became important, I was like, this is not important to me, or as important as everyone else in this class. Everyone in my class was just oh, we're doing uni and doing
this
our
is what I want to do.
Personal statements and stuff, and I'm like, I just want to go do this. Like,
Yeah,
I want to go and
exactly,
film
yeah.
things and just have fun. Like in media, even though it was very serious and I took it seriously, every part of it was fun.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely, yeah.
yeah, and I mean that was hard because all the teachers and all these people are like, apply for unis and do your personal statements. I'm like, I don't want to do any of that. So what do I do? And all of these teachers were like, I don't know, I don't know what to do.
That's so true, isn't it? They just kind
Yeah,
of, there's only ever one option for them.
mm,
And it's like,
yeah,
yeah, write your personal statement, like apply, even if you're not
mm,
sure about going. It's like pay the
yeah,
£60 fee or whatever it is
yeah,
to UCAS.
yeah,
There's no, oh, well, if you don't want to do this,
mm,
maybe look at this instead.
yeah.
It's like
You
only
like
the
you really
one
get
route.
kind of got left behind in a way. Like
Hmm.
they were still supportive of it, but they just didn't know how it worked. I think.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so you just kind of left to figure that out by yourself. I think.
So what was
Which
it
I
like
think I did.
about uni that you were just like, were you always like, this just isn't for me?
Yeah, I think when I realised I wanted to pursue a career in TV, film, creative, it was like, oh, I don't need to go to uni to do that.
Mm,
Like for me personally, like I know plenty of people who have gone to uni to do film studies or marketing, media, whatever. Um, but I would rather just try and get into it immediately. I didn't kind of want to wait around and do all the other uni stuff because I was like, that's not for
yeah.
me at all. So I
Yeah.
might as
I
well
was the
just try
exact
it.
same way.
Mm,
I was just like, this has no real interest to me in terms of like the uni life. I was like,
yeah.
I don't want to move that far away. I don't,
Mm,
I'm not really ready to live like by myself and
yeah.
the partying and everything. And I
Yeah.
was like, the things that I would be doing, I could just do them,
Yeah.
but exactly how I want to do them. Because I did, I first chose photography for GCSE,
Hmm.
and because I just loved it, and I was like, oh, this would be so fun.
Yeah.
And literally after I think 2 classes, I was like, I need to change this because this is making me hate taking photos. It was like
Yeah.
the rule of three, the all of that
Yeah.
stuff. You couldn't take pictures of what you wanted to take pictures of.
Mm,
And I was like, I feel like uni's gonna be that same way. I'm gonna be
yeah.
like, I have all these ideas, and they're gonna be like, that doesn't fit into what we want you to make.
Yeah. And I've heard like stories from people who have gone to uni and they've done that and then they've done like a master's in whether it's filmmaking or whatever. And it just kind of sounds like hell. Or my hell.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
type of hell maybe. I think.
Yeah.
You know, I know people who have gone and become very successful in what they do and things. But
Yeah.
like I didn't go and I've also been successful in my own way of doing what I
Yeah.
want
And
to do.
still enjoyed
Yeah,
making it as
and
well.
immediately earn money from doing it as well.
Yeah.
Which,
That is the other
like,
thing as well. Yeah.
yeah, and I like, I mean, God, it's been like 8 years since
Oh
making the
my God,
decision.
don't say that.
Oh, no, sorry, but
That's actually insane.
like, people were like, oh, do you ever regret not going to uni and not studying it? And I'm like, I mean, maybe it could have helped a little bit, but I don't regret it at all. Like, I
No.
don't regret not having that lifestyle. I don't regret the 3 years or whatever of like I kind of did uni or the maybe the learning of uni in my own way,
Mm.
in my own sort of different avenues and things like that. So I don't think I missed out on anything in the lifestyle or the education part of it,
Mm.
I think.
Yeah. No, I feel the same way. I feel like people always ask that. They're always like, "Oh,
Oh
do you
yeah.
wish you'd gone?" And I'm
Mm.
like, "Actually,
No.
no."
Yeah. You don't
Yeah,
even
like,
have to think about it. It's like, no.
no. I'm like, just like, well, yeah, I guess there's like some things I could have picked up, like maybe more professional tools, like
Yeah.
software type things,
Mm.
maybe, but there's always,
Yeah.
Ways to learn that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
when I think about the 60 grand of debt, I'm like, you know what?
Oh, yeah.
That's actually
Exactly.
okay.
And
That's
I
actually
know
all right.
I know people, like I said, I know people who have done it and soared from doing it. Like,
Yeah.
great. But I also know people who have done it and then they leave uni and they're just left to fend for themselves. There's like
Yeah.
no help, no assistance, no, oh, well, now you finish uni, let me introduce you to this or do this. It's just like, well, you've got
Yeah.
a master's or whatever, see what you can do with it.
Yeah.
And like, it's not, I don't know, like, it is important in a way to have that education. People do recognize that. But I think people also equally see and appreciate people who haven't had the education
Mm.
as well.
They appreciate like the experience
Yeah.
more so, and it's like who you know, and it's what you've done, and it's what you've
Yeah.
worked on,
Mm.
maybe like equally or even more so than the
Yeah.
degree side of it.
When I had I had like an informal meeting with someone at the BBC, and that was like my first ever like interview with an industry professional, and it was just there was no job or anything. It was just a sit down chat, and the first question she asked was, "Why didn't you go to uni?" And I explained all the reasons, like I've just said, and she just went, "Yeah, you don't need to go to uni to be like in this industry." And I was like, "Oh,"
Yeah,
and that was
that's quite
what, like,
validating.
yeah, that was like a year afterwards, or maybe no, a bit less than that, like maybe 6 months, sort of after everyone
Hmm.
else had gone to uni, and
Yeah,
maybe where I was like, oh, I kind of like everyone's left me, and
yeah,
like I don't know what I'm doing. So then have like the first interaction with someone in that industry to just be like, yeah, you made the right decision. Instantly,
yeah,
it's like, okay, I'm good. I know what I'm doing, and it's seen me
yeah.
through the whole time.
It is like weirdly scary that like when everyone goes, and
Mm,
then you're also like, okay, well, now my life is like actually just up to me. Like there's
yeah,
no structure, there's no you have to attend this class, you have to do this, you're like locked in
yeah,
for the next 3 years. You're like, well, I wake up in the morning and it's like, what am I gonna do with
yeah,
my day and
yeah,
with like my life?
yeah,
It's like, yeah. But then I also think you get a lot more out of that as well.
mm.
Like
Oh yeah,
having to pursue the things you want and having to
yeah,
make it happen on your own.
yeah, absolutely. And you're doing that alongside a normal job and a
Yeah.
normal lifestyle, and you know, yeah, and yeah, you're right. It gives you the drive because while you're
Mm.
working a normal 9 to 5, it's like, oh, I wish I was just at home doing this, or doing that, or pursuing all of these sort of things. So then that gives you the drive of, well, in my free time I will, because I want to, and
Yes, yeah.
I feel like I'm missing out when I'm doing just the normal stuff. So
Mm.
it really drives you, and that's always what's driven me to
Yeah.
keep going at it, I think.
Do you have like a movie or a show in particular that you saw and you were like, this makes me want to write shows and movies?
Mm. Um, I think like from a young age, what like fueled the creativity was
Hmm.
definitely Doctor Who.
Love that. Yeah.
Um, like that was five. I was 5 years old when that like came back, and it instantly fueled wanting to tell stories in some sort of way, even though I didn't know I wanted to write.
Mm.
Um, it was making up stories with like the action figures and things like that. Like that doesn't come just because you watch a TV show. That's because you're
Yeah.
inspired by it and you want to do it.
Yeah.
Um, I think as as a teen, like in that pivotal kind of moment, like we talked about, uh, the TV show This Is Us. Um,
Oh my god.
of course, love. So I was 16 when that started, and I watched it, and I mean, I'm not going to spoil the whole premise of the show to everyone because you kind
Yeah.
of have to go into it without knowing anything about it. But just the way of storytelling in that, and that was kind of like maybe my first like grown up program that I
Mm.
watched, kind of from the beginning as well, like watching it. Like it wasn't a
Every
binge;
week.
it was
Yeah.
watching it every week as was released. It was like, oh wow, this is how you can tell a story.
Mm.
Um, and yes, like watching that alongside kind of learning about TV and film, I think, because it's just like it's very like just family drama,
Mm.
relationship drama, all of that, and that's like what influenced like my writing a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely a big part. Um, but then yeah, I think that like definitely like Doctor Who has just been like the thing that's gone alongside every decision I've made. like
Yeah, because it's been airing this whole time as
yeah, like
well.
it was the story. It was just like, oh, like loving it as a kid and being inspired by it, and then it's as a teenager you go, oh, like how do they make that? So you watch all the behind the
Mm.
scenes stuff, and then
Love behind the scenes
you go
stuff.
in, you just go into it a bit more. And like, oh, people write this, like, because
Mm.
when you watch stuff like young, you don't. And to be fair, I think probably a lot of adults, just a general audience who maybe don't have an interest in making TV and film or even the behind the scenes, don't even think about, oh, I wonder who has written that
Yeah.
or how they've written. Like it's just not. You just watch it, you enjoy it, great. I wish I could do that sometimes, but I can't.
Yeah.
like I have to know how it all works and everything like that. So yeah, you learn. Oh, how did that person get to that point? where they can do that for a living. Um, yeah, and now I think about it as well. A stark contrast to Doctor Who, but is EastEnders is all
Yes,
and for
yeah.
me like that literally from the day I was born, I watched it. Which I know a lot of people say, and like a lot of people who work on it say, "Oh, well, I watched it from the day I was born because your parents watch it." So
Yeah, it's
when
just like an absolute British powerhouse of
yeah,
like
and it's 4 episodes a
culture and TV.
week. Like you just and like I think it's probably when I was 15, 16 was when I started again watching it like religiously with my parents and like taking note of it. Um, and yeah, again, just like Doctor Who was like, oh well, like how does this get made,
Mm,
and all that sort of stuff, and yeah, you learn about it, and so I think those the Doctor Who and EastEnders is definitely like the maybe like the benchmark. It's
mm.
that's like the platform, and then everything else is on top of that to
Yeah,
inspire me, I guess.
I think you're so right though. It's like kind of what they always say about like good editing is
Mm.
that if it's good, you won't notice it
Yeah,
and you'll
yeah,
just watch it. And but bad editing, you'll clock that straight away.
yeah,
And I think
absolutely.
that is what probably the majority of people
Yeah,
do when they sit and watch TV. They just enjoy it for what it is
yeah,
and the entertainment value. And I watch it and I'm like, that was so clever. Like, how
mm.
did they even come up with that joke? That was so funny.
Yeah,
Or like, there'll be scenes like I'm watching Dexter at the minute, and
mm.
there's like some like comedy parts, and I'm like, throughout the darkness of this show, like, who came up with that? Like, I want to know
Yeah,
who came up with this specific scene because it's so funny and it doesn't have any real bearing on the plot. So
yeah,
why was it included?
mm.
Or like the costumes and the why is this person dressed like this and
Yeah,
why have they chosen these colors? Why is the tone like this? Like all that stuff. I just love it. And
yeah,
then you also then think another layer of that is that's somebody's job
mm.
to think that and that was their vision. And
Yeah,
you're like, that's just so cool to me.
yeah,
That every time
absolutely.
you watch a show, you've got not just the actors, but all of the crew. You've got like hundreds of people that went into making it,
Yeah,
and all of their creativity is like melded into what you see.
yeah,
Like, I just think
and
that's so
it's
fun.
even like with like a lot of American dramas have like writers' rooms, so it's
Yes,
not
yeah,
usually just one person writing an episode. It is everyone contributing to that, and then the one person kind of writes it up or takes the responsibility of writing it. So yeah, it's even like every single line in an episode, one episode, it is an amalgamation of different people, different lifestyles, cultures, all of that.
yeah,
And yeah, whereas like British TV is not like that much. Like the soaps are,
mm.
um, but a lot of like dramas, it's one person writing a whole series, or
Wow,
it's
yeah,
one person writing one episode, but the story is by someone else, things like that. But yeah, it is when once you delve into it, you're like, oh well, there's someone who picks every piece of music
mm.
and every prop, like being on a TV set. You watch everyone, and you're like, why is there so many people here?
Yeah,
And then you're like, oh, that's why. Because imagine one or two people having every job. Like
yeah,
you wouldn't have time to do anything else.
no,
Um, and then that's just, you watch awards ceremonies, and you're like, oh, there's an award for costume design and hair and makeup. Like everything is so important, but to a general audience, all they care about is that they're watching a 45 minute, a half hour, a 2 hour,
yeah,
whatever, and they just enjoy it. But I think for creatives, you can't do that.
no,
See, I was watching something, I think literally last night, and it was just a conversation between two people, and it was cutting back and forth, and there's this one character just talking, 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 and it cuts to being behind them, so we're looking at the person listening, but the person who's talking, their mouth isn't moving in that shot,
yes.
and I'm just like, I can see that, I can see
I
that, and it's
literally
really
do that
annoyed
all
me.
the time.
And then I'm like, does anyone else notice that? They care,
I
but I
always
just
notice
can't
stuff like that.
give
I
it up.
think the main one is Friends. Like when
Mm,
I think of TV production, like that is
yeah,
what I think of. Like when
mm,
I grew up watching it as a kid, it was my dad's favorite show. Like it was kind of the first show I ever really watched.
yeah,
Um, and so because we had all the DVDs, I watched all the behind the scenes. So when I
yeah,
like picture like you said, like people writing it. I'm picturing all those people around that table during Friends, like pitching different ideas and different jokes and things. And then they had a whole section on like the Foley thing, and you're like, what is going on? Like, like, or when they have to, like on Pretty Little Liars, when they have to go over audio, like when they're outside, and it's like, oh, this would sound atrocious, and you're like, you don't even think about that. You don't think about the fact that Lucy Hale had to go back after that and is actually just stood in a booth saying those words so that it sounds good for you, the audience. Like, I just love all of it. I just think it is so fun. So that's what I picture when I picture. It's so funny to picture someone just sitting and writing it themselves. I think because I just like American media, for me, that's like me all over. And Pretty Little Lies was the same. It was like they had the writer's room. They had like a, you know, that meme of oh my god, what's his name? The guy from Horrible Bosses, and like It's Always Sunny.
With the whiteboard and stuff.
Yes, like, that's what they had to remember all the mysteries and all that stuff, and they all sit there and they pitch this, and it's like, it's so crazy to me that like I have like some of the outfits from like Pretty Little Liars, and it's like I have this because it's like that scene in Devil Wears Prada where she's like, you're wearing that jumper because the people in this room picked it for you. Like, I have that dress because Mandy Line, the costume designer, chose that dress for Aria and the character and who she was, and she's my favorite character because of how she was written. And it's like just so insane. And it's like the things that we say, like all the classic lines from Friends that everybody knows. It's like one person that you don't even know the name of wrote that line, and now everybody says it and everybody knows about it. It's like it's so crazy. It's like, imagine being that person. I know. That wrote like the pivot scene or whatever it is, and you're just like,
and the thing as well, like
knows about this because
with those iconic scenes, like that's not something that somebody pitched and they went, yeah, okay, great, that's in the script. That would be like a week's worth of work of a group of people being like, oh yeah, they've got to get a sofa up a stairwell. Like, the joke wouldn't have come immediately. That would have been like, right, how, you know, that's the boring idea of that scene. How do we make it funny? And it's people just constantly, you know, giving jokes, being like, oh, that doesn't really work, or maybe that could work. And then eventually gets to it, and like, well, it's the best joke that group of people can make up. But if that group of, you know, 6, 8, 10 people was totally different people, it could be a totally different result and still be just as funny, but we would not know that there was another option.
And then it's like, would it have been as funny if it had been given to somebody else? Like if David Schwimmer wasn't the one saying it and the way that he did it. And then, like, again, like all the Friends behind the scenes, it would be them. I think it was like the Vegas one. They were just running through, and then Matthew Perry was like, I want to try this instead. Or like one of the writers will just like call over and be like, actually, we're going to change this, like right in the middle of it. And you're like, you would just think, when you picture a show, you're like, oh, they just stand there and they say it and that's it. And it's like, well, no, because a lot of them, they stand, they say it, then like you said, with the person, when they're not talking, they then have to turn the camera around, do the whole scene again to get that person's point of view. Their tone will be slightly different to when they said it the first time and when they've changed it. And it's just like, how can you not love like TV and film when you know that all that goes into it?
So recently when I went to LA, I got to go to the recording of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, which, like, to see a US sitcom be filmed is like bucket list. And like it would be for you. I know you would love it just as much. And and I know the exact documentary you're talking about with Friends because I've watched it on repeat, like for years, because it's just so like fun and like well made. I just love it. And but like, you're literally watching that happen in real time. Like, there was like 3 different punchlines for a joke before the end of a scene, and they tried each one. We all laughed like a certain way, and I don't know what one they'll pick. But and even having been in the audience watching it, when I finally do watch it on TV, I probably won't even think about the other punchlines. I'll watch and be like, oh yeah, that's the best one, obviously. And it's watching it in real time. It's just so interesting. Like there was an MC kind of, you know, keeping like the audience engaged and stuff. I barely paid attention because I was just so interested in just like watching
What
the
everyone else
cast
was
and crew.
doing.
I couldn't even hear them, but just seeing like all these people like just in hushed tones talking about this and like
Yeah.
it's just yeah, fascinating, absolutely fascinating.
Yeah. I had the same thing like when I went to go and see Taskmaster be filmed.
Mm,
And it's like, again, that's one of those where you think, oh, they just use like what happens in the
yeah.
show. But
Mm,
then they all do their bit and then like Greg and Alex come back out and they redo some of the jokes they did. Like they redid the intro like 3 times.
yeah.
And I'm like, I just assumed that they just did that and that
Yeah.
was it and that was how it was. But then they came back and they refilmed it and they also had like the MC and stuff. And it's so much longer than you think it's gonna
Yeah.
be. Like a Taskmaster episode's like 40 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like me and Matt were there for like 4 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like such a process, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm like watching people move stuff and like where they're
Yeah.
putting things and the mics and the like all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Because I
it's like, how can you not want to be in that?
yeah, I went to a recording of The Voice, which obviously is, I mean, is factual, I guess, reality. I don't know, competition, and so very different result, I guess, but it's
Mm.
the same. It's the same way, like the hosts will say 3 different ways of introducing the next contestant or whatever, or even like the coaches will say different things to the people, and oh, we didn't quite get that full comment like from the mic, can we do it again? Or the performance would start, they'd run the performance all the way through and then go, right, we're gonna have to do it all the way again because
Yeah.
like one of the musicians slightly like skipped a beat or anything like that, and it's exactly the same even though it's more real,
Yeah.
but
It's really not
no,
actually.
no, not at all. But again, like luckily for that, I was on like the front row, like behind the coaches. So I was just like mesmerized. I couldn't care about the people singing. I was just like watching the runners, the director,
Yeah.
and like all these cameras like coming swooping in and stuff, and just seeing that all come together. And then watching it, and like again, we were there for like 6 hours. We filmed 2 episodes,
Yeah.
and it's so long. Like you barely are allowed to get up. Like.
Yeah.
And then it's like on for like an hour. You're like, oh, I wish it was an hour and it was that
Yeah.
quick, because it's not.
No,
But it's so much
I was
fun.
sat there
It's
for
much
so
fun.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a show like running at the moment where you're like, I would love to be in the writer's room for that?
What a question. What am I even watching at the moment? I think so I'm wanting to get into comedy a bit more, like writing for comedy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I would love, yeah, because I kind of get how drama works. Like I understand that, but like we were saying, like the way of constructing a joke or a punchline, or like the most funny environment or way of this character getting to this point would be so interesting. What comedies have I watched recently? There's a BBC comedy called Things I Should Have Done with Chi with a C. The second season's just gone out, and that it just, I mean, I think that's mainly written by Chi with a C, but I know that even when it's written by one person, there's producers putting their input in and the actors and things like that.
Yeah.
But that is just so like, it's so funny with the like throwaway lines that don't mean a thing, and sometimes you can like not hear it, or yeah, just how do you make every part of it funny, because every part of that show is funny, even if
Yeah.
it's not a proper joke or a proper punchline. It's why is that scene happening in this location or in this setting? So I think like just and it's a really simple like premise. It's a girl who has basically no social skills, whose parents pass away, and they've left her a list of just things that she should do, or they want her to do, and just each episode is her checking one of those things off. So it's like falling in love, or getting an education, things like getting a therapist, stuff like that. And it's 30 minutes based on that, but then it's this and that, and it's all these other characters also have their own stories, and it all comes together at the end with a huge punchline that most of the time you don't even see coming.
Yeah.
So just constructing a joke. Like I struggle to write comedy, even though I think
Yeah.
I'm a relatively funny person or humorous person, maybe, I don't know. But like my humor maybe isn't ideal for everyone. So then how do you write something that is funny for everyone, or
It's also a
include
completely
enough things?
different world of being funny, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
it's like when, we're hanging out and we're all talking and then you can bounce off of each other.
Mm.
Like you can say something really funny,
Yeah.
but it doesn't really come out of like thin air like that.
No.
Whereas when you're kind of writing it down, you
Yeah.
have to construct that whole thing yourself. There's no one else that you can like
Yeah.
bounce off of. You need to do that all
Yeah.
in the
And
same conversation.
which I think, like in a writer's room, writing comedy, like writing a sitcom, that is probably how you get there.
Yeah.
A group of 8 people, they would probably, in a friends scene, they would each take a role. You go, right, okay, I'll be Chandler, you be Joey, you be Rachel, and just see what we can do. I know, with Gavin and Stacey, when Ruth Jones and James Corden would write it, each of them would have like 6 or like would have like 3 or 4 characters that each of them would play when they're writing the script opposite each other, so they each do the voice, and they know their characters so well that they would just improv it and like just write everything or film it, record it, whatever. So yeah, maybe that. But yeah, I think writing comedy as a one person must be hard, unless you're really really good at it.
I
But
was going to say, like, I don't know how Kenny does that. Like,
yeah,
writing stand up is such a crazy thing to me.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it just comes so naturally to her.
yeah.
And I'm like, I
And then
want
to
to be
perform
inside
it,
your brain.
as well. Like
Yeah.
writing a joke is okay because you can just kind of like squeeze it in between other stuff or funnier jokes, or you can write something and be like, oh, it's not great, but there's a funnier joke later on or just before it.
Yeah.
Like I like writing drama and then putting a joke in. I find it
Yeah.
super easy. That feels more natural to me. But when it has to be like a joke a minute, that's hard. And I think, yeah, again, like for stand up, you have to just keep people engaged and keep people laughing because that's your literal job.
Yeah. And there's no story around it either. There's
No.
nothing to fill out those times. Like when
Yeah.
you watch Friends, it's funny, but there's also the relationship side or
Yeah.
whatever the general story is of that episode. It doesn't have to be funny the whole time.
No.
But that like condensed 10 minutes is like,
And
we're
doing
here to
stand up,
laugh the whole time.
you've got no one to bounce off of except for the audience.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like the audience is almost like the second character because you are saying these jokes and you're like, give me something. Oh, they laugh. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
what do
That's
you
what I
think?
wanted. So now I can go on to this joke and that joke. But yeah, stand up is a different breed.
Yeah. That's a whole nother beast.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then like, because you did, was it Hairspray in school?
Yep. Yeah, I did
Yeah.
Hairspray, Annie, and Footloose. Yeah. Well, yeah.
So
I wasn't on stage for Footloose, but yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so you done that, and then obviously through the media course, it was
Yeah.
directing, acting, editing. Like it was,
Yeah.
you just had to
Yeah.
do the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then, what was it about script writing that you kind of, because you kind of tried it all? What is it about the writing process that you were like, this is where I feel most at home?
I think it was just because I would just come up with stories and ideas, and it was just like, well, how do I get this out of me?
Yeah.
And like being a director, you take on other people's stories. I didn't want to do that. Like I wanted to tell my stories. That's why even like I liked editing. Like editing was always the like backup or like the second option, because it was like I can build a story from either my own stuff or other people's stuff. But yeah, I think it was just I had so much I wanted to say and stories I wanted to tell, and it just came natural to me. I think that telling stories and writing and crafting stories, and I enjoy the process of it. And I think just again, I was so throughout my life, stories were important to me. Reading stories, being told stories, watching stories, all of that sort of stuff. And yeah, I was always the kid in the playground being like, right, let's pretend that I'm this and you're that, and this is what's happening. Like, it's that thing of like, yeah, so imagine, like, yeah, obviously we're imagining, like, we got pirate swords. Like,
Yeah.
like imagine
None of
we're
this
on
is
a
real.
yeah, none of this is real. So yeah, it was just like when it was like, oh, I want to be a writer. It's like, duh. Like,
It's like, of
could
course
have,
you do.
yeah, I could have told you that from when you were like 4 years old, when, you know, you'd go watch a film and then like for the next 3 weeks, I'm jumping around the house being Indiana Jones, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like, because I mean, my parents bring it up all the time. We'd go to a film. As soon as I got home, I would somehow put a costume together of
Love
that
that.
character. So yeah, there was
Yeah.
like a good month in like the summer of 2008, maybe, where I just wore a fedora and had a whip running around my house being Indiana
Obsessed.
Jones. Yeah,
Iconic.
even
You need
younger it
to
was
bring
like,
it back for Halloween one
yeah,
year.
even
A
younger it was
leveled up
like,
version.
I'm a Power Ranger, or like I'm Wolverine, or I'm the Doctor. Like as soon as Doctor Who came into my life, it was like I remember watching Matt Smith's first episode.
Hmm.
As soon as it finished, upstairs, shirt on, one of my dad's ties, sonic screwdriver in my hand, running around the
Yeah.
garden, like
Love it.
reenacting the episode by myself, word for
Yeah.
word. So yeah, it was like, well, I was either going to act or write, like that.
Yeah.
Like it's never been a surprise that it's where it's led to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just feel comfortable there as well. Like
Mm.
it's never been a thing. Like, oh, I don't know where I should do it, or I'm good at it. It was like, well, even if I'm not good at it, I just like doing it, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
pursue it either way.
It's also one of those things as well where it would almost be like, this is gonna sound so weird, like a crime not to do it. Like
Yeah.
when you feel like you have that like a natural gift
Yeah.
for something, especially because not everyone is lucky enough to have something like that.
Yeah.
And to realize that when you're younger of, I can do this and I can tell stories that are engaging to people and that people want to read, and I can share emotions and evoke emotions with people
Yeah.
through my own writing.
Mhm.
Like that is such a gift, I feel
Yeah.
like, that you have
Yeah.
been bestowed with.
I know. Yeah.
You
The-
can't not share it with the
Yeah.
world.
Blessing and a curse. That's how I always describe it to people. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
what do you want to do? I'm like, oh, I want to be a writer. Oh, that's so cool. And I'm like, yeah, it's really cool, except
Yeah.
when like it needs to be, or like nothing's happening
Yeah.
with it. It's like, yeah, it's great, thanks.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's yeah, like saying, yeah, to have that drive and want to do it. It's I mean, it's not the same, but like people who are just naturally gifted at sports, or people who can play an instrument or sing, like of course that's what they're going to do with their life.
Yeah.
Like for me, I mean, I'm sure I have other skills and attributes, but the only one I want to pursue is writing.
Is this one?
Yeah. So it's yeah, one way or another, I'm going to do it, even if it doesn't become like a thing. You know, it's just something that I
Yeah.
like doing, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah. And I feel like you like know it in your gut, because it's kind of like what you were saying earlier about how people consume film and stuff like that. Like, you know,
Yeah.
me and Matt will go and watch a movie and he'll be like, I liked that or I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And that's where it stops. I go and watch a movie and I'm like, it, like, I don't even know how to, like, I feel it like inside. And I'm like, this makes me so excited to make things, to talk about things, to do all of this. Like, it just like spurs you into action in like a weird way. And I feel like you just have that or you don't have it.
Yeah. It's like watching TV and film, I will get inspired to write something brand new. And like people, if you say that to someone, like, oh, what, so you just have the same idea, or you want it, it's like, no. Like I'll watch something and it will be like, oh, I want to include a scene that is that profound, or a scene with a score or a soundtrack that is that impactful and memorable, or a set that is just that grand and things like that, or like even casting. Like I watched Send Help on Monday, and just watching,
I really want to go and see that.
Brilliant film, and just watching that, like, oh, I want that person to be this character that I'm writing. You know, it's just you're influenced by it. I think not inspired, influenced, all of that. But it's like whenever I do applications for writing things, it's like, why, questions like, why do you want to be a writer, or why do you want to do this, pursue this as a career? And I always say it's because I know the impact it can have on someone, because I've been so impacted, whether it's wanting to be a writer, or, the way a character inspires me to do something, or change the way you think about something. It's that I want to be that impactful with my writing.
Mm.
You know, and yeah, like writing things for people to enjoy, brilliant, love that. But I want people, like you said, to come away from it and be like, wow, I want to write something as good as that.
Yeah.
It's that sort of thing. It's yeah, having that impact on people in any way. Having an impact, you know, either way is yeah, the dream, I think, with writing.
Yeah, I feel like with like, I mean, if I can talk about Pretty Little Liars, I'm going to talk about Pretty Little Liars.
Yeah. Do you like Pretty Little Liars?
Yeah, I've seen it like once all the way through, I think.
Yeah.
But that's one of the big things from that show that people still to this day talk about is Emily, played by Shay Mitchell, and her coming out story, because she's a lesbian in the show. And people were just like, I had never seen that. I had never seen myself in a show. I had never seen, you know, watched somebody in a format that was more accessible to me in terms of like something that is aimed towards teens and young adults. Like watching her realize that she's gay and then form this bond with Maya and having to tell her mum, and her mum's not accepting of it, and how they kind of overcome that. And then you know, for the rest of the show, you kind of just get to see her. She's just like any of the other characters. Like she has one-off girlfriends or crushes that she has, but it's never treated in a different way to when, you know, Aria or whoever is seeing somebody new.
Yeah.
And to this day, like that, people say that to Shay Mitchell all the time, and the writers, they're like, thank you for giving that to me. Yeah. And it's like, to have that impact on someone's life, even if it's just like one person.
Yeah.
And be like, have that kind of emotional response, like that's 10 out of 10.
Yeah, the dream.
When you're going to write something, what is kind of the most common scenario for you? Do you get like the idea for the plot first, or the title, or you're like, I really like the idea of a character who's like this, let me find a story to put them in?
Yeah, it's a mix, and it changes per project. Like I am a big titles guy, so if like I'll come up with a title in my head, and I'll just be like, oh, I can just create a story out of that. Like I like recently, well yeah, like around Christmas time, I just like listened to Fairy Tale of New York, which favorite Christmas song. Listen to it every year of my life, right? But like something about like this Christmas, listening to the story of the song and the title, Fairy Tale of New York, I was like, that's a movie. And the movie just like completely formed in my head immediately. Yeah. So then it's like, right, okay, I know what the story could entail. So then I'm like, right, I need characters. So yeah, okay, that character, great. And then it's like, well, what's the story? And for me, a lot of it, like, I just think of like a scene. Yeah. And it could be the beginning scene, or just a scene somewhere at some point in the story. And it's like, right, well, how do I get to there? And then I just start. Like that's like as easy as it is. Like I'm not the type of person who will write very detailed outlines or like complete character arcs. I think I'm just like, right, I just need to write what's in my head, write it down, and then I can fill the gaps. But yeah, I think thinking back, it's a lot of just influenced by a scene, or I think a lot of it is titles, really. Like a comedy drama that I've written was just a phrase that I came up with, like a stupid joke in my head. I was like, oh, that's like, and then I come up with like two totally different ideas with that title.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I'll just write both, see what happens.
See which one I prefer.
Yeah. But I love clever titles of shows and films. And I'm not saying all my titles are clever, but like it's like that's what interests me, and it's kind of because that's what draws people in. It's, well, what does that title mean? What's the type of story? You can tell what type of story it is from a lot of titles. Like Pretty Little Liars, you're like, okay, well, that's something that's you know, maybe secrets and a bit of a thriller element and a mystery, stuff like that. It's just a lot of different things, I think, and like I said, it does change per per project and idea.
I think that's so true though. Like those are titles that you will remember. Like Gossip Girl is such an iconic title.
Yeah, that tells you everything as well.
Yeah, it tells you like everything you need to know like straight away. And I think you're right, that's so fun like to have like the one that you were telling us about like Blood Winter.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you like said that, I was like, I know where I am with this. I know the genre we're going for. Like I'm already like, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
So like that makes complete sense that it's things or phrases, because then you can also like, you can picture somebody saying it.
Yeah.
Like, you can picture somebody saying, oh, are you watching the new season of like Blood Winter? Like, oh my gosh, yeah, it's so interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then it's like that phrase that you want people to like latch onto. Yeah.
It's just, I'm like just thinking of other things like Riverdale. You're like, oh well, that's going to be a show about a town or a place, so it's going to be a big ensemble piece, and like, you know, maybe by the title you don't know if it's going to be a murder mystery or whatever Riverdale became, but like you know it's like, oh, the place is important to the story and the characters. Friends, well, you know it's going to be about friends, easy.
Yeah.
How I Met Your Mother, like, oh well, that's a story in a title straight away, so it's a very important part of it. And again, maybe like a general audience don't even ever think about that.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. But it's such an important and vital part. And sometimes like you can write something, you're like, I've got no idea what the title of this is until you write it. And then you're writing it. You write a piece of dialogue. You're like, oh, that's it. That piece of dialogue is the title. That's what will draw people in. It's weird how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you've also like experimented with different formats. So you've done like TV, you've written, you know, like movies, stage production. How does that differ? Like each kind of process? Like what's, you know, writing a TV pilot versus writing a film script versus writing a stage production?
Yeah. Writing a film, you've got to know the whole story, start to finish. Whether it's when you write the first draft, whether you start writing it, whether you know the full story doesn't matter. But you know when the script is finished and ready for people to look at, you have got to understand the story so that the people reading it understand the full story, start to finish, who the characters are, their development from start to finish. Whereas with TV, especially writing, you know, like a pilot for someone to read to then option or develop, whatever, you don't have to necessarily know the full story. As a writer, most of the time you do know how the story ends or what you want the last scene to be. But when you write it, you don't have to have the story fully formed yet. And things can change like all the time. Whereas I think, when I've written film scripts, I've known the characters fully formed. I know the story, or at least, you know, the bullet points. Whereas with a TV show, you're writing the first episode, you know where it starts, you know how you've got to introduce every character that's important to the story, and then you know you've got to get to a hook that's impactful, and you've got to make sure that everything in between those points are important, are engaging, so that when you get to that end point, people are invested. People are like, okay, I want to know what happens next. Whether that's as an audience member watching the complete finished product, or someone reading it going, okay, let's talk about what it would then go on to and what would happen next. Whereas like stage, I suppose stage is more like film because it's one thing. But with stage, there's a lot. I mean, all of them have room to develop, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm fairly new-ish to writing for stage. I mean, musicals. I understand musicals, and the musicals I've written, I get. But also, musicals I've written are like inspired by other existing films or stories.
More like adaptions.
Yeah. whereas plays or the play I'm writing is new from my mind completely.
Mm.
So I'm trying to learn that way, which like I love theatre. I go to see plays all the time, but writing it is a totally
Yeah.
different beast, and kind of
Mm.
getting it made is very. I don't understand. No, I don't understand. I don't quite know the details of like how do I get it from this to being on a stage.
Yeah.
But the beauty of writing for stage is that you can just make it and you can just put it on a stage. You can just have people come and see
Yeah.
it. Like even in a where it's a workshop or just around a table of people reading it, you can do that yourself. You don't need other people. Whereas
Mm.
with TV and film, for it to kind of make any headway, you've got to first put it in front of people that can do something about it. Whether
Yeah, you
it's
need the backing.
script readers, actors, producers, directors. Whereas you write a play, you write a musical, you can just put it on in I don't know in a school hall if you wanted, in a
Yeah.
community hall, in your own house. Like you can just like read it. You could just have a reading of it. Like it's that easy. And that
Yeah.
that is the same with TV and film. If you wanted to have people read your script or your friends read your script, do it. Um, so yeah, it's all different, but it's also all the same. Like you just write it, just write it
Yeah.
and hope that someone likes it, and then just see how it progresses in whichever way, I suppose.
Yeah. I guess with like stage as well, you don't have the same tools. Like
Mm.
it's really a lot of like you don't have, oh, this camera angle is going to tell you
Yeah,
that this person has, power over this person,
yeah,
or this like, well, I guess you can use like music and stuff, but yeah, like the color grading and all that stuff,
mm.
you really have to, this person is just sitting here and watching it and taking
Yeah.
it in for what it is.
That
There's no editing, there's no
no,
effects,
that's
there's
the
nothing
thing.
like
Like
that.
on stage, like you're saying, yeah, you can have like you can show a transition through music or sound or
Mm,
movement, but on stage, it has things have to be happening all the
mm,
time. Whereas like in a film, you can kind of do a montage that just kind of takes a bit of time, or you can like follow a character through a room or a building or whatever. Um, but on stage, you have to keep. It's a bit like we were saying, like about like stand-up comedy.
mm,
The audience are there. They're engaged straight, like they're in from the beginning. Um, so you have to keep them engaged somehow,
yeah,
whether it is the way a character moves or the way the scenery changes. That's important. Whereas like on TV and film, they have like establishing shots of like houses
mm,
beforehand. So you're like, oh, I know this is going to be set in so and so's house or this apartment or whatever. Um, on stage, it's all very visual and very like
mm,
more meaningful, maybe I think. Um, and yeah, you have to like, especially if you're right, like I've written a musical. How do you get from that scene with these characters in this setting? What's the best way to then get them all off and bring on a new
yeah,
set of people to a brand new scene, which can be totally different, a totally different, not subject, but it could be a very tragic scene or a very heartfelt scene to a comedy scene. Um, whereas, like in a TV or film, you do that with maybe the music or the
yeah.
lighting
Or like a
or
hard cut
angles.
or something like that.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
transition. Um, so yeah, but I think that's all stuff. Yeah, I'm learning with
Mm,
theatre, and I think it's the same with TV and film and theatre. Like, just you have to watch a lot of different
mm,
types of film, TV, theatre genres. Watch the drama, watch the comedy, watch the horror, um, and they're all influenced by each other. Like in a drama,
yeah.
you can have moments that are comedic, so then that's influenced by the comedy you've just watched, or you can have a
Mm.
drama where there's a big thriller moment, or paranoid character, and that's inspired by the horror and things like that. So just yeah, it's all one and the same, but
Yeah.
insanely different, and you have to
Yeah.
yeah,
But it
it's
is like at the end of the day, it is all still part of that evoking that emotion like from the
yeah,
audience,
yeah,
whether they're watching it on TV or in a cinema or there is
yeah,
something about stage
Like, I will cry every time I see a stage production.
Yeah.
I don't even know why.
Yeah.
Like, I literally went and saw The Devil Wears Prada. Incredible.
Oh
my God. It's fabulous. But I was just like seeing all these people like sing together and also sing live. Like, you just have that appreciation of it when that person is stood in front of you.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my God, I could cry.
Yeah.
Like, you people are so talented. And like, we're all sitting here experiencing this together. I'll just shed a tear. I'm like, this is the best moment of my life.
Yeah. My mum loves theatre, and like 9 times out of 10, when the cast comes out for like the bows, she will cry. Just at the bows, not even like at a point in the show, just like seeing these people. And I get that like that as well. Like, you have like a pride for the people on stage because of what they've just given you.
I'm so proud of you for doing that.
Yeah. And I have a thing with theatre as well. Like, obviously I've been on stage for like amateur stuff, and being in a theatre being like waiting for a show to start, I get the same like heart pounding moment. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be so exciting. Yeah. It's so funny. And I think, again, like, as a creative, you feel like that. And I don't know if a general audience going to see a show would feel like that. I'm not sure. But I think with live theatre, it is a more general feeling because you are watching it, and a lot of people do appreciate these actors are doing it live but I feel like that with anything I watch. I'm influenced by it.
Absolutely. Are you like, I guess it's like completely different scenarios as well, like when you do eventually, fingers crossed, you and Kenny perform your play that you've written, because you'll then get that almost like instant gratification of it. Like, everyone will clap and everyone will, tell you what they thought of it, or they'll laugh.
Well, hopefully people will clap.
I will.
Just stone cold silence. Yeah.
As opposed to, I guess, you then don't get to experience that feeling, like when you're writing and you're redrafting until eventually somebody like sees it.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like, so like, do you ever, like, when you're sitting and writing, you're like, oh, people are gonna love this, I'm so excited to show this to someone, like, I want to show it to somebody now, like, I want it to be
like I can write something and just be like, oh, that's it, like, that's my moment.
Like, I actually ate with that.
And it's funny because like you feel like that, but you also know that people might watch that and be like, great, and like move on with their life. But you always hope like that someone will have that response. It's funny because more recently, when I've been writing stuff, a lot of it I'm just writing it for me. Like, I'm writing something and I'm just enjoying writing it, and then it's done, and I'm like, I'm happy with that. Kind of don't really care what other people think of it. Like it's like, I'm at the point where I'm like, if nothing happens with this, that's fine. I'm just happy to have written the thing that I want to write. I'm proud of it, and that's all good. Which is a really nice, comfortable way to be
as well, though.
Yeah.
Like, I'll have, like, I've been asked before, like, when I was gonna make, I think that's when I was gonna make my first video about Desperate Housewives. Iconic, incredible show.
Yeah.
And someone asked me, they were like, well, is anyone going to watch that? Like, is there an audience for a show that, is 20 plus years old? Kind of thing. Or, someone would say like, oh, how come you don't do more like trendy videos, or like, kind of what is popular at the moment? And I'm like, I just love the things I make and the things that I talk about. And if one person watches it and is like, that was a great take, I really like this video, people have said like, I downloaded this to watch on a flight, or I've watched this like while I'm tidying or whatever. I'm like, that is enough. If just one person says that, I'm like, that is enough. It doesn't need to get, I could make ones that are more, pandering to that kind of thing, and maybe would get 100,000, 1 million views as opposed to 1,000. But it wouldn't feel right, and because I wouldn't love it.
And if you're not going to enjoy it as much, making it from start to finish, like every aspect of it, then that end result's not I mean, it can still be very, very good and you can still be proud of it, but you might go, I just didn't enjoy it as much.
Yeah.
Whereas the things I write, it might not be.
As well.
Yeah. And like some of the things I write, I'm like, some other people might not like this, or it might be too far in this direction or too far away from what's like commercially viable and things like that. But it's like, but I believe in the story so much and I want to explore the story so much. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
And, like,
and I think as well, like, I've read a couple of your things now, or you'd like perform the play and stuff. And so when I read those, or like, you know, hear you talk about them, I feel the passion in that.
Yeah.
And like I can hear your like voice in it. Like when I read the stuff and I'm like, this is so you.
Yeah.
And like I love that because I can like feel that passion there and like the love for it, and that I know that you have put so much time and care into it.
Yeah.
And if you were just writing things, you know, hoping that they would get made because they're are more popular or are something that maybe, oh, this has great commercial appeal.
Yeah.
I feel like you would feel it. Like I would read it and I would be like, oh, this doesn't feel like you.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can, because you can feel that when you're watching stuff as well. Like you can tell when something is someone's passion project that they've written compared to like, you know, a weekly show that's on its like 9th series. Like if it's an 8-episode series and you never get any more of it, you're like, oh, they just wanted to tell that story because they wanted to tell the story. And I think that's kind of where I am with my writing and what I want to do. Like a lot of my ideas don't have, I don't have like, oh, this could go on for years and years. Like, you know, something like Pretty Little Liars, Riverdale, Desperate Housewives. Like I have a few ideas, but then even then they're like contained to like, oh, maybe like 3 series. Like it's a trilogy of a story, or maybe 4, or but yeah, I just like writing what I want to write. And I think
as well, like a lot of people that watch TV, even if you aren't really in that more creative mindset, like everyone has that kind of feeling when they watch a show. I probably, maybe Friends, like I guess it depends who you ask, but I have rarely seen someone say, I loved every season of that show.
Yeah.
And every moment of it, it usually is the later seasons where people just feel like this didn't need to happen. Or like this, obviously it was popular so it got renewed, but if it ended at this point it would have been perfect and the story would have been perfect, and they, you know, they pushed it because they felt like they had to. So I think like recognizing that and being like, no, this is a kind of like with Schitt's Creek, you know, they always said this was where we wanted it to be. It's a huge popular show, we could do more seasons, like no one said we weren't allowed to, but we told the story we want to tell, and we're cutting it off when it's still good and we still love it. And I think it's so good that you're kind of like doing that same thing and recognizing, this is a 3 series thing, this is a limited series, because I love the story I'm trying to tell, and I'm not trying to push it any further.
And also a lot of time I'm like, I don't have any more story to tell. Like it's
I think
all
you
in
can
there.
see that with some shows when they're scrambling.
Like I think that is a lot of TV at the moment. You watch something and go, wow, that was like the best, you know, show I've seen, and it's just 8 episodes, tells the story completely, and then they're like, we're going to do a season 2, and you're like, why? And sometimes it pays off, you know, like shows, I'm trying to think, like shows like The White Lotus is incredible because they do like it's a new story every time, new location, new characters. I love that type of story, that type of series. But when it's
was it like an anthology, like
stuff, you know, like stuff like say American Horror Story, that sort of stuff, I love that way. And some of my writing, I'm like, well, maybe that's how it would be told, or maybe at some point I would give it to someone else. You know, I would tell my story of it, which I know that you know, things like Doctor Who, a writer will come in, do 4 or 5 years, and then it'll be gifted off to the next person. It gives it a brand new lease of life. But yeah, there's a lot of shows at the moment where you're just like, we're good. But a lot of like networks or production companies will go, oh god, it was the most watched TV show of that year. And it's won all these awards, like, and then the next season comes and nobody watches it, or it all falls off, or
Yeah.
and you're like, see, like it's fine. Just make the next thing. You don't have to just like it. And yeah, there is like people love those long running shows, like like the American dramas. And there is like there is a call a lot lately for people to be like, we want those like 22 episode series back, where it's just we can just put it on for 45 minutes and have filler episodes, but we want to see these characters all the way through.
Yeah,
and
I want to spend more time with those characters.
Yeah, and there's series like that are successful. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I've never watched it, but Grey's Anatomy is somehow on like series.
I was going to say Grey's Anatomy, she's still going.
Series like 200,
strong.
I don't know. But like things that I watch, like The Rookie, or not, like these police procedurals, or like 911,
like Chicago Fire.
Yeah, stuff like that, because people love being in that world with those characters. But then it's like, oh, it's like a murder mystery series. Yeah, it's just one limited series. That's great. But then it's like, oh, we're going to do another one, but it's set somewhere else, but that doesn't make sense to the title of the show, or stuff like that.
Yes.
It's. I always say that with some shows, like, and that's why the titles become so important to my stuff, because there's lots of shows where they have the title because it makes sense for the first series or the first few, like The Rookie. Although The Rookie maybe is like the best example of doing it well and cleverly. It's called The Rookie because it's a guy in like his 40s. He's been a builder, construction worker all his life, and then he decides to train to become a police officer very late in life. And that's the basis of the show, and it's great. And it's him as the rookie with other police rookies who are younger than him, etc. Eventually, into like season 5, 6, he becomes a police officer, so he's not a rookie anymore.
Yeah.
So you're like, well, then who's a rookie? So then they now bring in other rookies, and like he's training them. So you're like, okay, that kind of works. But yeah, it's like, well, titles are important. Like, titles very like, and some shows are stuck with it. Like, Only Murders in the Building. The first series is because the murder happens in the apartment building, and then but they've done it like, it's a gimmick. There's a murder every season in the same building, and you're like, well, that's not. It's not believable. It maybe doesn't make sense, or something. They really push it. It's like the end of the last season, because at the end of each season they kind of tease the next murder that's in the building or the next story, and there's a murder outside the building, like gates, and the characters are like, oh, we can't talk about the murder because it's kind of not in, because they do a podcast about it. But then like the body who's just died outside the building kind of comes back a little bit to life and kind of reaches a hand over the like threshold of like the apartment building, and it's like, okay, like we can look into it now
it's allowed.
It's like, you just go, like, take the gimmick, go with it. I guess like The Rookie, that's kind of a bit gimmicky as well. It's like, okay, we'll just have more rookies. But I know there are other shows where it's like, it doesn't make sense anymore. Like, why we're calling it that? So like with my titles, I really try and be like, okay, this makes sense for this one series, this one arc. And if I want to do something else, it's a whole other, it can be a whole other show. Like, that's okay. Like,
it doesn't all have to be one continuous big project. So you feel like I'm putting all my time into something that's going to get made, so I have to put all my ideas into it. It's okay to like
let it breathe.
Have 50 different open projects at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
This might be on the spot, so no pressure if you don't have an answer. It could be like your answer for right now. It doesn't have to be a definitive answer.
Okay.
But out of like the 3 kind of genres that we've mediums that we've talked about, TV, film, stage, or theatre, do you have one where you're like, this is my example of what I think is the best written version of that medium? Like, what is
of my own
a show
writing?
that you watch?
Or
no, like of one that you've watched.
Yeah.
Where you're like, it might not even be your favourite show, but you're like, this was just so well written. Or, this film was just, I wish I could write something like that.
Yeah. What one? Yeah, not not necessarily current, but just one that I'm like, I wish I could have written that. Is How to Get Away with Murder.
Oh, I really want to watch that.
Just like the premise of it, the way they tell the storylines. And I rewatched the first, because I think the first season of that is one of the best things I've ever watched. And that is one of the shows where it's like, it gets on and you're like, okay, they can't be getting away with murder every year. Yeah. But yeah, like the twists and the turns and the way they never quite let you into the full story, the full picture. And you can never quite like trust all the characters. Like and I think again, that's like, started watching that when I was like 18 maybe. Was an influence of my writing, and just the character development of that and building the characters as well. Like some of the characters in that are some of my favorite characters ever. Like Annalise Keating is just a fully fledged character from the moment you meet her. And yet there's so much, even by the end of the 6-year run, you still don't know about her.
Yeah, or you're still able to learn.
Yeah. And also, like, in that show, like, none of the characters are good people. Like, they all do bad things, whether it's a murder or whether it's, just a bit of corruption or an affair or something like that. Like, you can't really root for all of them, and yet you still root for each one of them somehow.
Yeah.
I just love that. Like, I love characters with flaws. I love when characters just constantly like being like pummeled with like drama and like emotions and stuff. Like, I just, because that's like, it's real life. Like, yeah, it's based around a very out of reality premise maybe, but the characters are real. They feel real. Yeah, I think just stuff like that. And I think with that as well, it's a show where it's a drama, but then it's got every element. It's a dark thriller. It's
all the other genres.
Yeah, it's comedy. It's relationships. It's about sexuality, race, politics, like law, crime, all of that. I think it's a perfect show, and I wish I could write it. I wish I could erase it. Yeah. From the earth
and write
it. You know, that film Yesterday where it's where everyone forgets the Beatles and then he starts performing the Beatles songs. That's what I want to do with that show. I think. Yeah.
I feel that same way. Like Gossip Girl or Desperate Housewives. I love, I guess you would call them like grey area characters.
Yeah.
Characters where you're like, of course they do terrible things. That's like the plot of this show.
Yeah.
And then like people in the comments will be like, I hated her. Like, she made such terrible decisions. Like, why did she do that? I'm like, but these are the kind of things people would do. Yeah. Like, if you put them in these situations, not everyone is always going to make the choice that you as the audience want them to make. And it's like getting people to have that reaction to a character, to like hate them so much. Or like you said, Dave Williams from Desperate Housewives. I loved him. Oh, like the man is evil. Like he does such terrible things.
Yeah.
But I was like, you have written him in a way that has just made me feel for him.
Yeah.
And like understand who he is and why he does the things that he does.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's so clever. And there's this one episode of Desperate Housewives, they call it like the Eli Scruggs episode. Oh my god. To me, that is an example of just incredible writing, because they introduce you to a character you don't know. We've never met them. Throughout the episode, you see his relationship with the different housewives, and the impact that he had on a town that you didn't know he was there.
Yeah.
But now you're like, oh, that he was in that and he worked in this. And he never appears again. He only appears in that one episode. And it is one of the best episodes of TV I've ever seen, because I'm like, why am I crying over this character I've only just met?
Yeah.
But it's the way that they introduced him and how he was linked to everybody else. And I'm just like, that is just such, powerful writing.
I love...
and I'm like, wow, how did you come up with that?
And that's why people love villains so much. Because they're interesting, because you want to know why they're like they are. And then, like, they have more... I don't know if I'd say like room to develop, but just because you are rooting for them, you're like, I can like change. Just I can change you. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's like you can become good, and that's almost more of an interesting story than a good guy becoming bad.
Or a good person that is like, oh, they're just good and they're just nice.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, well that's great, but what else are you going to give me?
Yeah, it's like in How to Get Away with Murder, the character of Connor. He's like kind of the only one throughout the series that kind of doesn't like he's involved with all the bad stuff, but in the end he's the only person who kind of doesn't. I hope this is right because I haven't watched it in a long time, but I'm pretty sure like he doesn't. He's not like an instigator for any of it. He's involved, but he never instigates it. So by the time the finale comes around, you're just like, I just want him to get out of it unscathed. And yet, like he should be in prison. He should have repercussions. But you're like, just you've come this far, get away with it all. Like get away with How to Get Away with Murder. Like it's his story.
Yeah.
But like you were saying about like rooting for the people who are like complex or maybe aren't the nicest, things like that. So I'm a big fan of like reality shows and like Real Housewives, right? Total different beast, but also it's a form of storytelling. And people will watch those shows and hate one of the women in it because they bring the drama or they bring the receipts for this drama or whatever. And people will be like, oh, I hate her. She like always instigates trouble. She's always like popping off. She's always stirring. And I'm always like, yeah, that's what you want. Because you're watching this. If you
took her out,
nothing happens.
What are we going to watch?
Yeah, you're watching this show like, oh, why does she always reveal what these women have said in secret about this other person? You're like, because someone's got to do it, because otherwise there's no drama for us to watch. Yeah, like I'm like, yeah, like I don't like that that person either. But God, without her, it'd be boring. And I
think that's what makes great TV or like great movies.
Yeah.
Is the complex characters, the characters that you look at them and you're like, well, they love this person, but they can still do horrible things, or they do nice things. I think Dexter is just such a perfect example of that. Like, especially like the first 4 seasons. When I was watching, I was like, this may be the greatest show I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not really my kind of thing. You know me. I love a teen drama. I love something that's got a bit of camp. Like that's my vibe.
Yeah.
So Matt wanted to watch Dexter. He's like, I've heard, great things about it. And I was like, I don't know if this is really my thing. And I was like, this is actually incredible TV. It's only like 12 episodes a season.
Yeah.
But it is so well written. And it's like, I don't know if you know the general plot of Dexter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, he's a killer.
Yeah.
That's his whole thing.
Yeah.
But I'm like, any time that someone comes close to figuring out what he's doing, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, he can't go to jail. He can't. What am I going to do if Dexter goes to jail? And he's like,
there's no show.
He's got a girlfriend. Exactly. I'm like, he's got a girlfriend and he's so sweet with her. And it's like, it's like so funny that I'm like, why is this psychopath like setting the bar for men? Like he's so sweet. Like he's such a good boyfriend. He plays with their kids. Like he's like plays this dad role. He's a brother and he does all this stuff and he's so clever. And I'm just like, how have you written this so that I'm rooting for somebody that kills people?
And I love as well that you're watching it where there's like, I don't know what, 6, 7 seasons and you know that. And yet you're watching it and be like, oh my God, what if he goes to prison? Like,
I know.
You're like, he's going to be okay because it's called Dexter.
I'm so invested.
Yeah.
Like, I get so invested, even though, but I love shows that take risks like that.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I won't spoil it because if you should watch it. It's, oh my God, it's so good. I tell everybody, I'm like, you need to watch Dexter. But it has like stakes. Like, there are characters where you're like, oh, this person's obviously going to be in it for long. Like, I'm used to watching Pretty Little Lies. I'm used to watching Gossip Girl. A will lock the Pretty Little Liars in a blast freezer.
Yeah.
She, A was locking someone in a kiln before, and you're like, oh my God, this is it. Like this, but you're not.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no stakes in this show. Like everybody that we like and we know is going to make it to the end. Everybody's going to end up happy. Everything's going to be fine. So I'm used to watching shows like that. So then when I was watching Dexter, I was like, wait, that character's gone already. It's only the 2nd season. Like, what do you mean? I thought they, the core characters that we had were going to be the core characters that we had.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and I just love it because I love a show that I truly can't predict what's going to happen in it.
Yeah, and How to Get Away with Murder is like that. Like, again, won't spoil it for you or anyone else, but like I think it's the third or fourth season. Like they tease the eventual like murder or like big death of the season that happens like halfway through, and you kind of find out that it's one of the main characters, and you're like, well, who can they?
Who's disposable here? Nobody, surely.
Like everyone is important. But I love those shows where they go, it makes sense. We're not just going to keep these characters around.
We took that risk.
Yeah.
Just because you like them doesn't mean we're going to keep them.
Yeah, and
if it doesn't serve the story.
With How to Get Away with Murder as well, like they take like the side characters who are barely important in the first season, and then they kind of like develop them, and then and then they'll go back and do flashbacks. You're like, oh, that they're like the reason this is all happening, or that this character is a certain way, or this certain thing happened. Like, I just love it when writers have faith in the story they're telling and the risks they want to take. Like, just take, like, some shows play it so safe sometimes.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of it's because they think an audience can't take it, or an audience don't want it to go that way. But most of the time people actually want to be surprised and be shocked by these deaths or like, developments.
Yeah. Like with Pretty Little Liars, that is honestly one of the things that, I mean, I'm saying this is my favourite show. One of the things that kind of killed the series a little bit and kills a lot of people's enjoyment of it is that there's no stakes. Yeah. And when you watch it, you can feel the influence of the audience. Yeah. You can feel that they were like, we can't break up this couple. This is, everyone loves them. Everyone wants them to be together. Like, everyone's going to be so mad at us if we do this. Like, or, in interviews, they'll be like, oh, we knew we couldn't kill off them because everyone would have been so angry. And it's like, but if you had the idea and you thought, this is a great punchline, that this is going to hit everybody in the gut, do it. Like, go for it. And think what is best for the story and what you want to tell rather than how is it going to be perceived by the audience. Yeah.
And I feel like Riverdale is a good example of the writers just being like, this is what we want to do it, so we're going to do it. Yeah. If you want to watch it, watch it. If you don't, we're just having fun. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like everyone raves about that first season just being like a perfect teen drama, murder mystery. And then like second, third, fourth season, it's like, okay, like we're getting away from ourselves a little bit. But then it's like, okay, what do we do? Okay, we'll do a time jump. Okay, cool. Like most shows do that. And it's like, what do we do now? We'll just have 5 episodes where it's set in a slightly different universe, and every episode is kind of canon. Different. We're going to bring Sabrina the Teenage Witch in it as well. And then it's like, and everything's a musical. And then what we're going to do is give them superpowers. Brilliant. And then we're going to go back in time, and then that's just how the series is going to end. Like,
it's like what is it, like the 50s or the 40s? Yeah, they're like, we've gone all the way back. Yeah, and I'm like, I love this. Yeah. I'm like, this is so fun. I've never seen a show like this. Yeah, now I get to experience whole new wardrobe, all new pairings of different characters, and a whole new set, and I'm like, I was so here for it. Like, I'm such a Riverdale like defender.
And I loved Riverdale, and I fell off about the time jump. The time jump, I was like, I think a lot of people haven't got time for this. But like last year, like, I was like, I just love Riverdale as a thing, and I love the cast and all that. So I was like, I'm gonna go back into it. And I mean, it's a challenge. It's a so challenge. I'm currently only at Rivervale, but it's just one of those things where it's like, I want to just put something on for 45 minutes that means nothing. And I don't need to pay attention. And like, I'll put it on. Great. Veronica's made a casino and they're all making deals with the devil. Yeah. Yeah, fine. Yeah. Who cares? Like,
because also you're like, I like these actors. Yeah. I just want to watch them, do whatever.
And interact and just play their character differently or a bit silly. And like, yeah, sure, none of them can sing, but cover these songs. Why not? Who cares? Like, it's just,
Heathers, go for it. Like, why not?
I've watched a couple, like, when I was like living in London with other people and I was watching Riverdale, like, somebody would come in and I'd just be like, oh, like, don't look at what I'm watching. And don't think that I think this is like amazing. Yeah. Like I'm kind of watching it ironically, but also I love it and I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a fan? I mean, I feel like I probably know the answer to this question. Are you a fan of a musical episode, of a Halloween episode, like a Christmas episode, a special episode?
Oh,
do you ever write those?
I probably have ideas for them, but because a lot of the stuff I write, I just try to write the first episode and then kind of move on to the next thing. But I have like ideas of like, oh, I'm going to tell this episode purely from the perspective of this character. Yeah, I like a musical episode when it's done cleverly. So like with Riverdale, it was based around a school musical. Love that idea. That makes sense. You know, warp reality a bit, fine. When they're like, oh, we're going to do a whole episode of songs from Next to Normal, I wasn't kind of in on that one.
Yeah,
but
you're like, why is Jughead just bursting out into song in the middle of this trailer?
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, love seasonal episodes, and that is like the big thing that's missed from like long running shows, because you don't get that.
That is what I miss.
I miss those seasonal episodes, and then I love special episodes, like the episode you said about Desperate Housewives. Like I haven't got to that point in the Desperate Housewives run, but that sounds amazing.
Oh my
God,
I
love that idea.
You're gonna love it.
I'm trying to think of like any. I love I'm a big fan of 911, and they do episodes where the title is like the character and then it's begins, so it'd be like Buck Begins or Eddie Begins, and it's
I am like obsessed with Buck, even though I've never seen number one. I just see like clips of him on like TikTok all the time, and I'm like, I want to watch this show just for him.
He's like one of my favorite characters ever, I think. But yeah, like those episodes, so they'll just like the present day storyline is focused on them, but we're seeing flashbacks that are also important to the present day story. Like love those. I'm trying to think of any like even like, you know, being like a big EastEnders fan, you know, it's every episode's like ensemble and it's different stories and things like that, but then they do those special episodes where it's like a flashback episode to these characters way before we ever met them, even though we've been watching these characters for like 30 years. Incredible. Or like when they just do an episode and it's just two characters in a room talking. Like some of the best episodes of soaps are those episodes.
It's like the Friends ones, like everyone loves the one where nobody's ready.
One of my favorites.
One set, just those characters, no side characters, no outside interference, it's just them. And I'm like, I love that.
And even like Doctor Who, like some of the biggest raved episodes, like the Weeping Angel episode, like even people who even people who aren't like Doctor Who fans or were, you know, when they were younger or whatever, that's like the episode people talk about. That's not even got the main characters in it, like barely, you know, they're more of a cameo. Episodes like Turn Left, where the companion we kind of see the story, we know about them, but because they made a different decision, we see their life in a different way. Like that episode Turn Left is like one of my favorite episodes. And it's all that like risk and like trust in your audience that they can take it, that they can start watching an episode, go, well, this is a bit weird, or why are we doing this, but then get in it. And they're the most important episodes sometimes as well to the whole story and like the character's story.
And they do become people's favorites and the standouts because they are a little different, and people remember them because of that. I feel like for the Doctor Who fans, because I'll be honest with you, it's going to be nothing to me.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite Doctor and a favourite companion?
Favourite Doctor.
They don't have to be like. They don't have to be.
Favourite Doctor
same,
is
like, together.
Favourite Doctor is Matt Smith, so 11th Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's just like the definitive characterization of the Doctor. And then companion would be Martha, because she's I wouldn't say like she's not the strongest companion. Like, you know, all the companions are written to be independent people and independent of the Doctor. But I just think her story is she's one of the only companions that chooses to leave at the end of her series, because she has been affected by what's happened and her family's been affected, and she goes, I'm good, I'm gonna leave before it becomes anything else. It's funny, like those characters have never interacted, like that version of the Doctor has never interacted with that companion. And then like my favorite, but it's funny, like my favorite episode of Doctor Who ever isn't a Matt Smith episode, it's a David Tennant episode.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And like my favorite like TARDIS interior is the 12th Doctor's. Like it's all these different things, and that's the beauty of like a long running show like that. And it's like every fan has a different favorite combination of Doctor, episode, companion, monster, version of, you know, this villain. Like it's great. And it's just, I mean, it's the same with any show. Like your favorite character in Pretty Little Liars will be totally different to someone else's for different reasons.
Nobody's favorite character is Arya.
Great.
Like anytime I speak to anybody, they're like, really?
Yeah. It's
so I've been there.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any like where like I have a favorite character and everyone's like, why?
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's the beauty of it. It's just that everything can mean different things to different people. That's the magic of storytelling.
Sees themselves in a different character.
Yeah.
Like with Pretty Little Liars, you have Emily is obviously she's gay, but she's also like she's on the swim team and she's very empathetic and very loyal. And you have Aria, who's more eclectic and she likes photography and she wears different fashion. You know, she wears stripes, she wears like forks as earrings. You know. And you have Hannah, who's like the fashionista, the popular girl, very trendy, very, you know, that like blonde comic relief character. And then you have Spencer, who's very academic, perfectionist, you know, all that kind of stuff, very studious. So as soon as you sit down, everybody is going to either see themselves in one or parts of themselves in all of them.
Absolutely.
And I just think that's like the beauty of TV and having those like ensemble casts.
Yeah, and you can see yourself in different, like if you rewatch shows. So like This Is Us, for example, when I first watched it, I mean I was like 16, and it's a very like heavy show about family drama and trauma and relationships.
My parents cried at like every episode of that
God,
show.
Yeah. But then I've been rewatching it for the past couple of years because they started a rewatch podcast with 3 of the cast members.
Yes.
So I was like, perfect time to rewatch, because I wanted to rewatch it anyway. So watch an episode, listen to the podcast. And when you're like 25 watching it, totally different beast to watching it as a teenager.
Absolutely.
And when I watched it as a teenager, like young adult, I would see myself in the character of Randall because of his anxiety and kind of wanting to, I guess, what's the word? Sort of, oh man.
Not the writer for saying the word.
This is why I write and don't speak. Lord, prove himself. That's it. He constantly trying to prove himself, look after the people around him, all that sort of stuff. Saw myself in that character. Rewatching it, I now see myself as Kevin, or in Kevin, because
that's the actor, isn't it?
Yeah, because he and like I'm in no way am I saying I was treated like this by my family or whatever, but he's kind of left, like he people think he's got it all together. people think, oh, like Kevin will be fine. I think I see myself in that a lot of like, oh, like Ryan's fine. He's, he's outgoing and he's great, and he's great. I don't know if people say that I'm great, but like just that, like
I do.
But just like, like worry about me as well. Like that's a lot of like Kevin's character and how he gets to like where he is in the stories they tell of him as an adult is like people weren't watching me, so they didn't see like the struggles and how he was feeling.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's funny. Like again, like even with things like your perceptions and feelings change. So like as a kid watching Doctor Who, David Tennant was like the Doctor, like he is for a lot of people. But then
I was gonna say he probably is for me.
Yeah,
I don't even watch it.
But like going back and rewatching it, I'm like, I don't really like the characterization of David Tennant as the Doctor. Like I love David Tennant, love him playing the Doctor, but actually for me, Matt Smith's Doctor is more,
he embodies that.
Yeah, and kind of who I see myself in as the Doctor. And that's because you think back, you're like, oh, I was 10 to 13 watching Matt Smith as the Doctor. Of course, that's where like fashion sense and things like that is all come from. And it's like, yeah, like think like actually even with Doctor Who again, like Billie Piper as Rose was like my favorite companion. And I actually remember when Martha came into it, I was like, don't like Martha. She's replaced Billie Piper.
Where's Billy?
Like didn't help that I like had like Billie Piper was my first crush. And then for like this new person to come in, like
who didn't?
Yeah. And then but like rewatch, it's like, man, Martha like was it. Like she's the like well written, well played, and I think just like being open, like rewatch stuff and be like, oh, I was just a child. Like it's okay to like rewatch things and see yourself in other characters and connect with other things.
Yeah, it is funny, isn't it? Like, yeah, when I watched Gossip Girl for the first time, I was 13.
Yeah,
definitely not. Shouldn't have been watching it at 13. And I had, you have the characters that you like then, the ones you identify with, you're like, I hate Vanessa. Why does she do that?
Yeah.
She's so annoying. Like, and then you watch it, like me and Miranda, I've seen it a million times, but me and Miranda during lockdown, every day we would sit, it would be like this. Yeah. Every day, 9 p.m, we would sit and we would watch like 3 episodes of Gossip Girl, like on the chat, telly party, whatever it was called. And we were getting to those episodes, like that storyline with Vanessa, and I was like, I don't understand why I hated her. I don't understand why everyone hates her so much. Yeah. Like, I actually am really enjoying her character this time around, and I'm understanding why she does the things that she does. And as you then, as you get older, as you date people, as you have careers, as you do all that stuff, all of that then influences how you now see the show when you go back and watch it. Yeah. And it's almost like you kind of get to watch it for the first time in a way, because you're like, and then Friends, I think, is like that as well, I was watching Friends when I was like 6 years old. Yeah. Like, I was like, these people are old as hell. Yeah. And now I'm watching it and I'm, the age they were, I think, season 1, season 2, kind of going through that. But then I'm also like, well, I'm getting married at the end of the year. Yeah. Like that is always, that's kind of always been my favourite episode, is the Monica and Chandler wedding episode. Even since I was a kid, I just loved it. So now I'm watching that and I'm like, I get you, Monica. Like, this is stressful. And when I was a kid, I loved, Phoebe. I thought she was so funny and so quirky and different. Yeah. And now I'm like, I'm such a Monica. I'm absolutely such a Monica. Yeah. Like I love that, that you can, that any piece of media is like that. You can come back to a different time in your life and feel completely differently about it.
And I think as well, like you can watch things and at the beginning of it, not feel for a character or not enjoy a character. But their development by the end of it, I think, like
absolutely,
like in Big Bang Theory, the character of Howard is not a nice person at the beginning. All he cares about is sleeping with women. He's very kind of creepy, like he's just odd. But his whole story, he's got the best development story throughout the 12 seasons, because he eventually finds a girl, gets married to her, has 2 children, becomes an astronaut. Like he has this whole.
Becomes an astronaut.
Yeah, he goes.
He goes to space.
He goes to space.
Is this Riverdale?
It's more believable than Riverdale, but like he, the character of Howard in the last season compared to the first season is a totally different character. And And I feel like you have that, like in Friends a bit as well, like the character of, I don't know, maybe, Rachel, I guess. Rachel is the one who develops the most.
Yeah.
And me and Kelly spoke about this on our podcast. Like, she runs into the Central Perk in a wedding dress, has no idea how to live like in normal society.
Yeah.
And then she has to get a job and earn money and become this totally different person by the end of it, where she's able to say, yes, I want to go to Paris and get this job, even though she doesn't do that by the end of it. But like when you watch like the first season of Friends, like Rachel kind of grates on you a little bit because she is just like,
that's the whole point. She's supposed to be spoiled and
all these other characters, like even Monica as like her childhood best friend is kind of like, like this is life, this is real life. And I think there's just so many great characters like that, and if I can write one character who has that story or that development, I will like be happy completely.
Yeah, like I've been watching One Tree Hill, and it was so fun. Like in a matter of episodes, one of the main characters, Nathan Scott, I was like, this guy's awful. I was like, he treats his girlfriend horribly. Like he's just this jock. Like, he's just the fucking worst. Because I was ranking like the characters as I was going through, because I knew I was going to make a video about it. In the end, I was going to be like, this is my favorite to like least favorite. He's at the dead last. I was like, there's no way they're going to get me to like this guy. 2 episodes, and I was like, I love Nathan Scott. I'm like, this is my favorite character of this entire show. And it's just so funny how writers have that ability to do that to you, to just take like, oh, you think you know this character, but actually you really don't at all.
And I love that. I think actually in sitcoms the most, where because characters in sitcoms are very like tropey, it's like, this person is the womanizer, this person is the romantic, this person is the one who's like a bit scatty or whatever. But then because they have the room and the time, because a lot of them are long running, they have the time to develop and you learn new things about them. Like Howard in Big Bang, or even Sheldon in Big Bang. Like he starts has no idea, no social skills, no people skills. And by the end of the series, he's married, loves his friends, appreciates his friends, when throughout the series, he's quite horrible to them because that's the only way he knows how to be. Characters like Barney in How I Met Your Mother, he's awful. He's a manipulator, womanizer. Like people have done like essays about how horrible he is to women. But yet by the end of the series, where he like meets his daughter for the first time, and you like see the change in him immediately, of like, oh, this is all that matters now. Like it's, but then you have that, you can have that same development in a film as well. Like the recent like Marty Supreme with Timothée Chalamet, like he's an awful character, really. Like he's so driven on his dream of being a table tennis player, and it
could never be me.
And he does awful things through the film. Like he manipulates everyone around him, he cheats everyone around him, and then at the end he gets his dream. He I don't want to spoil it too much, but like he does, like everything he does pays off in the end. But then this other thing happens and he's brought back down to earth and he just breaks down into tears. It's the first time you see him break down like that because of this thing he's being confronted with. And you're like, oh, that's the story. The story wasn't him trying to make his dream come true or whatever. It's that actually you can have that dream and work for it and be this person, but actually you just need that one thing. And I think sitcom characters or drama characters, when you get to the end of that, the show as a whole, or the end of the storyline, they all have the happy ending, but in a different way. And they can go through hell to get to it. Like the characters in like Pretty Little Liars or Desperate Housewives, Riverdale, How to Get Away with Murder, they can go through hell, some of the worst things that people have ever gone through. I'm saying it like it's real. But like how it,
like, my friend Archie literally fought a bear. Okay, my good friend Archie literally fought a bear.
And then went back in time.
Okay. And went to jail. Okay, so I know what I'm talking about.
But But yeah, and then when you like, it doesn't matter the ending they have. You're like, yeah, I'm happy with that ending, and they get every character gets the happy ending. Maybe even if it's not the ending like they deserve, I suppose. Like whether they're a bad character or a good character, like some good characters can not get the love of their life or their dream, but they can still be happy by the end of it. And that's life, I guess.
So true. So true. I think Friends, again, is like a great example of that. You have, Monica who, like, but I think that's why you become so attached to them. Like, from the jump in season 1, they're like, she wants to be a mum.
Yeah.
Like, she wants to be a mum so bad, she will do the sperm donor. Yeah. She'll, do all of that. Even if she doesn't have a partner, that's what she wants. Yeah. And you get to watch her fall in love with Chandler and go through this whole process. And one scene that, I've seen Friends, I could not even tell you how many times, but every time that Chandler goes to Erica and says she is a mum without a baby, I will burst into tears every single time. And it's not the way that she thought she was going to be a mum. It's not the way that, she was like, I want the pregnancy, I want to experience that. Yeah. But she still gets it. And that almost makes it even more impactful to watch that. Yeah. You have Phoebe who had David and she never had that stable relationship. And then you get to see her marry Mike at the end and have that she kind of always wanted. And she thought she wanted it with David. And when you see him come back, you're like, well, obviously she's going to pick him because it's always been him. But then you're like, no, Mike works for that and he fits that picture so much more. Like, I think that just makes it so much more compelling when you have to watch the journey and go through the different versions of what that could look like.
It pays off more. I think as an audience member, if Phoebe chose David or anything like that, you would feel cheated by it.
I was always Team Mike.
Yeah.
I know there's people that are like, she should have picked David, but I'm like, no, it was all right. It was always going to be.
Even like with Friends, where with the whole Ross and Rachel thing, when you it's great. She gets off the plane, they get together, love. But you would also feel okay if Rachel did go, and because that's her happy ending in a different way, and Ross can still be happy in a different way. Like they'd both be okay. Either way. It's just, you can tell
Ross and Rachel's such a funny one as well because they're not actually together, really.
No.
Like throughout the whole show, they're really not.
No.
Like they're not in the first 2 seasons, towards the end of the second season and like third season. Yeah. Then they're like not together.
No.
But you're kind of like waiting for it to come back. That's why and then at the end they get together. Yeah. So it's like you could have had it that she just decided to move on, and that also would have been.
And there's because there's lots of moments where you're like, oh, it could be the start of them getting back together. So like when they get married in Vegas, you're like, oh well, yeah, maybe they could just work it out. That's fine. And then then Rachel's like, no, like we're not meant to be. Like, and Ross gets okay with that. And then they have the baby. And that still doesn't bring them back together. Yeah. And then like you're saying, like even when Rachel and Joey, like, even they don't get together. Like they're never actually in a relationship, but they're seeing what can happen. It's not like Ross and Rachel were together immediately before, or Joey and Rachel cheated.
He literally says it's been years. Yeah. Like 6 years since we were a couple.
Yeah. It just takes that moment for them both to realize. Well, Ross knows, like, he loves Rachel. Like, even when he's with every other person, he knows Rachel.
I was gonna say, I think he knows the whole time.
Yeah, he's known since that prom video and all that sort of stuff. But Rachel needed that 10 years to grow and try other people and try other things, so that when she's confronted with it properly, she goes, "Oh, of course," and that's why she comes back. Yeah. Like, it makes sense.
Do you feel like when you write characters or stories, do you kind of see yourself and your life experience in all of them? Or do you ever have projects where you're like, I'm completely detached from this. This is not something I've experienced or something that I've done, but it's something I just really want to write about?
I think there's only my play I've written or writing is the most ripped from reality thing that I've ever written. Like literally dialogue in the play is from messages and things I've said, things other people have said, and life experiences. My script afterwards, which I'm sure you've read, was inspired by an event in my life and then also people around me. I think I just put myself and everyone I know into every character that I write. Like I could be writing like my film that I'm writing. It's a 40, middle-aged man, but I see myself in him. But I also see other people in him and other like TV and film characters in him as well. But then also like the relationship between him and his sister, which is like the crux of the film, it's not necessarily the same as the relationship with me and my sister, but it's an important because that relationship is important in my life. Everything I write, it's family because family's important to me. It's sibling. Like I didn't even notice it until I reread a lot of my stuff. There's siblings in all of my things I write because siblings are important to me in sibling relationships. A lot of them are friends being influenced. And everything that's important to me is in what I write. Whether it's in the backdrop of like a murder mystery or a political thriller, like it's all influenced by my life and what I believe and what I think and just because you don't get those ideas just because you come up with them. They're all inspired by
they come from somewhere.
Something someone said to you or someone else's life experience or the things you read or the things you're like, oh, I want to talk about this. So yeah, there's just a piece. I feel like there is a quote somewhere of just like every piece of my life is like in 100 different stories that I tell in some way or another.
Yeah, it's like that one that's people say like when you meet me, you meet everybody that I've ever loved and everybody that I've ever known. And I feel like I've and I see that like in your writing, and I think that's what makes it so compelling to read is that I know that these emotions come from a real place or these bonds and you write them in a way that is like you truly understand them. And it like when you and Kenny were reading the play out loud, I was like, and it was so funny because it was just us sat in my living room. There was no set, there was no you had some musical bits like that you played and stuff, but I was like, it was like I was watching it as if I was watching a TV show. I was like, I know who these characters are, I feel these emotions, I can see your like love and your passion coming through the script. And even though you weren't, you guys weren't giving it like full force like how you would on a stage, it still had that impact. And I was like, this has to be seen by people. Not just me and Liddy in the living room. Like, I am waiting for the day that you say, we've booked this like cafe, we're going to perform it, and I will be
It's so funny because like since we read it, I've had like no interest in like writing anymore.
Really?
Of it. It's like I just needed to like get it out. But no, it is like still still there.
No, like I'm moving on to other things.
It's still there, but I'm just like at a point where like I've written everything that's in my head for it, but at some point I just have to go back and write the rest of it. But yeah, it's still like passion project completely. But yeah, it's as well as like with the characters and like having these characters being influenced by all these different things. You don't have to. You as a writer can know that, and what's happened to these characters leading up to introducing them to an audience. There's some things you might never tell an audience member about the character or their past, but you know it's important to how they talk to someone or how they react to a situation. And like in like an 8-episode series, you're not going to have the time to tell that to the people, but it's there and it's important, and that's what makes characters 3-dimensional, because you as a writer are writing them that way. It's It's weird. It's weird being a writer. I like
It's a weird
when you start
world.
like describing it, you're like, God, I should be like in an asylum.
You're like, I have all these characters
Yeah.
in my head, and I'm thinking about all of them all the time.
Yeah.
And they're all different,
Yeah.
and they're all speaking to
Yeah.
me in different
And
ways.
they're all in different time periods, all affected by different things. Some of them sing every now and then. Oh God.
Some of them are in black and white. I'm not really sure what's going
Yeah.
on, but it's working.
It's
working
working
for me in
Yeah.
that way.
Absolutely.
So then you've also obviously started your podcast with Kenny.
Yes.
And what, like, I guess, like, kind of what prompted you guys to be like, because, you know, everyone, like, we talk about things like, oh, this would be so fun to do this, or this would be so
Yeah.
this. So then what was that moment where you were like, no, we're going to sit down. Is it, I think you said, is it every Monday that you guys film?
Every Monday, unless we can't. But we release
Yeah.
we release every Friday.
Yeah.
And we like make sure we get there.
Yeah.
So like we bank some episodes sometimes, you know, pre-record, even if it's like, oh, this isn't going to go out next week, but in a month's time we've got this ready to go. Yeah, we've always spoken about it. And then, so obviously last year I lived in London for a bit. Kenny was traveling, and then Kenny came back, and then I moved back to Milton Keynes. And it was like, oh, like it's actually the perfect time to do it.
Yeah, we're both in the same
We can be in the
place
same
once.
room doing it. And yeah, it was like, we're both at a point, like with Kenny with her comedy and me with my writing, like we want to get out there and put our names out there. We want to, and so it was just like, well, let's just give it a go. And it was really quick. Like we'd spoken about it a fair bit. And it's weird because I feel like a lot of those conversations happened like at your house. Like, and I think it's a lot like
I'm like, I was there.
It's a lot like with other people, like whether it's your friends or just like us a lot. Like, yeah, it's like, oh my God, we should do a podcast. Like, oh, it would be so funny doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many times where like me and Kenny have done something and Miranda's been like, you guys should do a podcast. And it's like, oh yeah, like we'll do it.
Yeah.
And then it was like, in my mind, it's like, no, we should do a podcast, and I want to do a podcast.
Yeah. And also, what's stopping us
Yeah.
from doing it as
But
well? Like, why not?
But I was like, I don't know if Kenny really wants to do a podcast. Like, I know she says she wants to do a podcast. I don't know if she wants to do it. So then she came round just for like a little catch up, like literally like beginning of December. And we talked about everything else. And then I was like, oh, like, would you want to do the podcast? And she's like, oh yeah, that'd be really cool. And I was like, okay, well, I've got all these ideas, like showed us through the document. And she's like, yeah, I've got all these ideas. It's like we've been independently
and you were both like
thinking about it,
thinking the
developing
same
it. Yeah.
things.
And we just needed like one person to be like, let's do it. So then, yeah, it was really quick. Like, so that was beginning of December. And then just before New Year, we filmed 2 back to back. And then, yeah, we haven't stopped really. Like,
did you change outfits?
yeah.
Yeah. I literally love that. When I was doing like, I did 12, I called it 12 Daisies of Christmas on my channel. And I was like, I need 12 videos for December. I would sit down, I would have my hair like straight, and I would have like one jumper on. I'd finish filming that video, I'd swap over, I'd put my hair up, put a different top on, film the same thing, change my lipstick, change my top. Like,
it was just like,
I love it.
Yeah.
It's just
We were like, we've got to keep like the belief that we're recording this,
that it's every week. Yeah.
But yeah, so we did the first 2, and then because I think we wanted to release it that first Friday of January of the new year, like proper
like,
brand new
almost like
project,
a New Year's resolution kind of thing.
So yeah, and we haven't stopped. So God, at the time of recording this, we've done 6. Feels like we've been doing it for years already. We've only done 6.
I know, but that's so funny, is because that's how I like felt. So me and Miranda were so excited. We had a premiere like party. Like we made a roommate Katie as well to sit down. We all sat down on the couch. Like we had snacks. And we watched the first one, and it was literally like we had tuned. Even though you were kind of introducing it, it was like, I don't know. I felt like I was tuning into a podcast that already existed.
And I think because
like, you felt so like comfortable and natural.
Because we've known each other for like over 10 years. We actually don't know we don't actually know the year, but over 10 years, and like we are like you will know and be able to attest to it. How we are on the podcast is how we are in any situation, in any environment.
Oh, absolutely.
Whether it's sat around your table, whether it's in a car, whether it's at an event, at a party, like me and Kenny, we're always together. We're always reacting to things mutually.
It's literally my favorite thing. I wish at like my parties and things, you know, like The Office, or like when it's like I don't know, this is gonna make it sound like a sports thing, you know, and they have like the sports is happening, but then you have like a little camera in the corner that's like the commentators, or it's like the coach, like they're like watching just them. I want that, but for you guys, because there's so many times, and Miranda says the exact same thing. Like someone will say something, and then I just know that if I look over at both of you, it's gonna be in sync, and you're gonna be like, I can't believe they just said that. Actually,
So it's just it's so nice and easy and fun. And like we both like said the other day, we were like, it's just nice to like have a reason to see each other every week.
Yeah.
Like you don't get that with a lot of people. Like you don't live near us, so it's hard. You know, we have to book like months in advance, like reasons to see each other and stuff. So to have that is lovely. We're both at similar places in our like trying to get where we want to be as well.
In your like career journey.
We both, obviously the whole premise of the podcast is that we both work with our dads in trade jobs, so we're very
I know I was like way back, like I think it was like 2 years ago, we were like, right, this is what we're gonna do. The three of us are gonna do a podcast about the fact that we work with our dads, and then I had to go,
so we were like, well,
and like stop working for my dad.
We've cut Lauren out, we'll just do it instead. But it's so nice and fun, and we just get to joke about our lives, and like we bolster each other up anyway, as we do as a friend group. So we kind of inspire each other, kind of hold each other to account as well. Not of like drama, but just like the career stuff. I've
got the receipts.
We don't confront each other about stuff.
Like, full on Real Housewives on the podcast.
But it's so fun, and because I edit it and kind of do all that sort of stuff.
I was gonna say, like, how does that kind of work?
So because it's one of those things where like Kenny does her comedy and she does her stand-up, she does shows in the evenings, so a lot of her free time is that. Whereas with me, I'm not saying I don't have a social life, but you know, I have the time to like edit and stuff. You're not
like performing that.
I'm not on stage every night. But I also like I said earlier, like I enjoy editing and I like doing that sort of stuff. So it's like a breeze to me to be able to do it. Like, and now after we've done a few, I've got it down to like I can do it, like edit within an hour, get it rendered, get it sorted. So it's really fun, and we've got such good ideas for it. Like going forward, we're going to start interviewing people. We've got a few interviews lined up that we're excited to do. We want to
wait. Okay, we won't. Well, I won't spoil it on here, but you need to tell me.
Oh, of course.
Like afterwards, but send me a text of like, this is who we've got booked in.
But we've got like big hopes and dreams of kind of branching out to do other stuff and get really interesting people on, and kind of, I think we're both using it as a way for new opportunities. Like obviously Kenny's doing it for her comedy and to promote herself, and then I'm kind of promoting it as me being a writer, but also being someone who's passionate about the industry and TV and film, and seeing what opportunities that could bring to it.
Well, even just the last episode, which I happened to be, oh God Lord, my sleep schedules are all over the shop, like with YouTube and whatever being full time. So I was awake when the episode dropped at 6 a.m.
Yeah,
I was there.
Yeah,
I was there at 6 a.m. I had not slept, so I was like, I'm gonna lock in. Yeah. And me and Miranda, we tend to try and like, we'll watch it like at the same time. We'll be like, have you seen it yet? Because she like works from home on a Friday. So I'll be like, we'll put it on like at the same time and like watch it. And we both said the same thing. We're like, it was so interesting, like listening to you guys and how you were explaining like the award season.
Yeah.
Because like, that's not really something that I've ever watched or really know that much about. I just look at the outfits and I go, Sabrina Carpenter slayed that. So I was like, this is so interesting. It's like I get so much enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
One, just because like when I miss you guys, I'm like, I could just watch you on the TV. I'm like, hey. But then also Kenny brings the talking about her stand-up and the behind the scenes of that, and that's so interesting. And then you have the, you know, you're like, I was obsessed. I was like, this is so much fun, like listening to your talking about LA and the things you did there and the things you got up to and why you love LA so much and the, you know, the film behind that. And then also, you know, I'm waiting for you to talk about your networking event that you went to, and there's so many things where you both, it's like both entertainment fields but completely opposite ends of it. And that passion is there. Yeah. I just love listening to it.
Like, I think we say it quite early on, like, I don't know how the comedy world works, like how stand-up works. I appreciate stand-up and I watch stand-up and I love comedy, but I would never try and like begin to understand how that works or how I would get into it. And Kenny's the same with TV and film, completely foreign worlds. But then it's even the real life jobs we have. Kenny's a plumber, I work in like the locksmith industry. Totally different as well. Again. I don't know how a toilet works. Who knows? And at some point on the podcast, I might ask.
What?
I don't know. So yeah, it's like we're so similar, with such similar dreams and ambitions,
and like life paths. And points.
And yet,
you know,
and yet we both live totally different in different worlds as well in every aspect. Like it's a really, and that's why we want to do it, and why we felt like we actually had something to talk about. And I think it's so fun. I love doing it. I know Kenny loves doing it as well. The reception we've got from people is just so fun. Like like a lot of our audience at the moment is like family and friends, but you know, we're hoping once we start interviewing people and kind of doing other stuff that we get more viewers, and that can lead to other things as well. But it's that thing, like I think I said it in, I don't know if I did say it in an episode, but I said to Kenny, like with her comedy, she gets instant gratification being on stage.
Yes. And this is why I mentioned that earlier about your script writing, because I remember you
getting a response from it. Whereas me as a writer, I don't. You know, I can write something, and until someone reads it and gives feedback, I have no idea how it hits. But for me, being able to have this podcast, edit it, put it out into the world, and get like to actually have something finished and complete that I'm proud of, and be able to just push it out.
Yeah.
Like that's the first time in my life I've been able to have that with something I'm passionate about. So it's so rewarding already. And we're like only a month and a bit into it of the journey. But we're full steam ahead, and we're very excited to see where it goes.
I love that. But it's also it's so many different things for you. It's rewarding in so many ways, because like you said, you get that fun of, I'm just here chatting with my friend, like this is what we would be doing anyway, and that comes across, and it feels very, you know, likable and personable in that way, that you feel like you're chatting with friends. But then you're also learning like new stuff and interesting things, and like I'm learning that as someone who doesn't write scripts and doesn't, you know, isn't a plumber, isn't a stand-up comedian. But like you said, you're learning that about each other as well. But you also are able to exercise that creative bone of filming, editing, posting, and getting that like gratification, and then seeing the opportunities that can come from that as well. Like it seems like just the perfect thing for this kind of point in your life.
And the thing as well, like, because when we came up with the idea, it was always about that we wanted to eventually have people on every now and then to interview. And we want people in different fields to us. So, you know, still in the creative field, but not a comedian, not a writer. But then we also want people who are just in different careers. You know, we want people who just own their own business. And we want people who might be a teacher or just work a 9-to-5 office job, because the ethos of our podcast is living the dream. And that doesn't necessarily mean doing your dream job. It just means being like happy in your life. Like you can be living the dream, doing whatever. And it could be because me and Kenny both have these normal jobs, but are aspiring to do this. But we're both really happy in our lives as well. It's not like we're doing this and constantly depressed and like, oh God, I just want to be doing this and doing this. So we want those people who just just interesting people doing interesting jobs that we can still learn from, we can ask questions about. And yeah, like I said, just constantly like bolstering each other, other people, other industries. And yeah, just, and because a lot of podcasts are just one thing, unless it's, you know, unless it is a very broad thing, but we've got this one subject that we have, but it encompasses every part of our lives and other people's lives as well. So yeah, I love it. I'm glad we're doing it. I'm glad we're like actually doing it.
Yeah, but I love that idea. I think that's so fun because, you know, like we were saying, one of my favorite things in life is to listen to people talk about things they're passionate about. And if that's something else that I'm interested in, then obviously you can have that back and forth about it, which is great. But I love when it's something I know nothing about as well at the same time. And I think there is such a, you know, with like podcasts and things where you do interviews, a lot of it is, you know, kind of like celebrity based. It's like, I'm interviewing, I don't know, Dove Cameron, I'm interviewing Brittany Snow, you know, it's like Call Her Daddy, it's Dak Shepard, it's all these ones. And they get these huge, big guests. And, you know, that's great and that's interesting to listen to.
And it's always usually to promote something as well with podcasts.
Exactly. So there's a bit of, you know, give and take in that. But I think it's such an interesting concept to just talk to normal people because people are so interesting and you never get the chance to really experience that because no one's really interviewing a nurse, you know, who works in the, you know, the special care baby unit, or someone that is a firefighter or just an on-call firefighter while they have another job. Like all that kind of stuff I think is so interesting and why they do that and where it came from and how their life is intertwined in that. People are so interesting. And that's because if you give them that platform.
I love talking to people and finding out you know what they want to do. But like a key thing for me when we're interviewing people is, especially if they're, it's two ways. If they are living their dream, you know, they've got their dream job, how did they get there while doing a normal job? You know, if you finally have your own business or whatever, how did you build that business up while working 40 hours a week? Because to me, it feels impossible. I feel like I can build a whole business, you know, while doing my normal job. But then we also want to talk to people who haven't quite got there yet and are just trying to make their dream a reality like we are. And yeah, I think it can be, I hope we can get some really interesting stuff, and I hope that people watching it can kind of listen to those things from both ends of the spectrum and take stuff away from it, really. So yeah, I'm really excited to see where it goes. And that's the thing we want, you know, we'd love to get famous people on it and, you know, big celebrities.
John Bishop.
We want John Bishop on it. He's our number one. We have like a document of our like dream guest, and it's just basically anyone we mention. I was going to say,
podcast. do you have a dream guest?
I think, I mean, everyone is like, oh, you've got to get John Bishop on. I'm like, how am I getting John Bishop on the podcast? We're 6 episodes in. But like, I'm like, well, he's got a tour next year, so maybe in a year's time he might want a little promo.
Yeah. Maybe he's living the dream. You never know.
I think it's just we just want fun people that we like. And that goes for famous people and normal people. Normal people, that sounds horrible.
Yeah. But I love that. Like, that you get both.
Yeah, because we're normal people. We're normal people wanting to be famous people. So it's like,
but also, famous people are just normal people, really.
Yeah. We're all just people. We're all just normal people. But
and not to like make it all deep and stuff. Obviously, you know, you look at the news and there is like so much division and horrible things that are going on in the world at the moment, and it seems like there's so much hate between so many different groups of people. And so for you to have a space that is just about learning about people and their life and their culture and where they come from and what they do and what they're passionate about, I think is such a little, like, you know, when the internet can be kind of a somewhat tricky place to navigate, I think it's great that you're kind of cultivating a space that is purely like a little section of hope and like sunshine in amongst that, to just give people the chance to learn about other people.
And I think we're both those types of people where we do look for the good in everything, and we just
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
it's the type of people that we are, and you know, like we just like celebrating with people and doing fun things with friends and
Yeah, I
family.
love that.
So yeah, and like, you know, our tagline is "Tools Trauma Talking." Like, I, I mean, I feel like I don't really have like trauma. You know, I can't speak for Kenny, but I don't think she has either. But it's just a way of, the trauma is just our lives and like how we what we have to go through to be happy. Um, yeah, whether that's normal life or our work life or our dream life. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think,
And like you were kind of saying earlier, about how people perceive
mm,
shows and no two people's like opinions are the same. No two people's like stories are
yeah,
going to be the same when you interview
yeah,
them. And that's like going to be so
mm,
fun. Like it's going to be, I'm assuming 99% of the time, somebody that I never
yeah,
know. Like I've never
yeah,
heard of, never spoken
hmm,
to, but now I get the experience like through you
yeah,
guys of learning about someone new and getting to hear about something I would have never
yeah,
heard of
yeah,
otherwise.
absolutely.
I
Yeah,
love that.
so we're very excited to see where it goes, and we'd love people to watch and
It's so
listen,
exciting.
please.
Yes, everyone go and
Yeah.
subscribe. Obviously, I'll like put the link in the
Hmm.
description. So then, as kind of like, I guess like a final question before I ask you the questions I ask
Yeah.
everybody. What is on your like 2026 manifestation
Mm.
board? Like if you had a little Pinterest board or
Yeah.
a little goals, you know, what are you hoping to achieve this year?
Yeah.
If that's personal, career, you know, whatever.
Um, I think personal is, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of okay personal, but I mean,
Love
the
that.
next like dream personal is like to buy my own place, so whether it's a house, apartment, whatever. That's like the goal. Um,
So
but while
exciting.
still trying to like, I'm not like hindering myself to. I can't spend like any money. Like I'm still,
Mm.
that's my goal, but I'm also enjoying
You
myself.
still want to
Yeah,
enjoy life.
yeah. Um, so there's a bit of that, but also I think just like spending time with. I feel like I'm at a point where I know who my like life needs to involve. So like friends and
Yeah.
family who,
You know who your soul
yeah,
family is.
yeah. So it's just spending time with those people, doing those fun things. Um, Career wise, I mean, podcast wise, that's a big thing. We want to make it to a year. Make it a two.
Oh my god, you need to do something like I don't know, dress up or something for
Yeah.
the 1 year
Well,
anniversary.
we have ideas for our anniversary episodes to interview our dads on the interview.
Shut up.
So we've spoken about that.
That's the best
Um,
idea ever.
'Cause yeah, Kenny's not as excited as that
I
part
was gonna say,
as
I
I
don't know.
am, but we'll get there. I think we said like, oh, I'll do like episode 50 with my dad, which will be like
Mhm.
obviously like 1 year, and then I was like, we'll do episode
Yeah.
100 of your dad. Like we'll be doing it for 2 years by then. Like we might be a bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I think like podcast, you like get some big guests on or like
Mm.
people of note on the pod, and I think like just get more known. I guess like at least in maybe our local community,
Yeah.
because as far as I know, there's not a lot of people like in Milton Keynes kind of doing podcasts or sort of, because like we're very much like we want to bolster Milton Keynes as a creative city, because it is, because I know a lot of people here who are creatives and there is creative sort
Yeah.
of bubbles in Milton Keynes. So we do want to bolster that. Like I said, we'd love it to kind of give us new opportunities, whether that's hosting, presenting, you know, that sort of stuff.
I'm there. I'm so
I've got plenty of
It's
ideas
like
in
when
here.
you posted on your story about, which I didn't even know was going to be a thing, but the Saturday Night Live UK.
Yeah.
I was literally immediately I was like, okay, so you're the writer and Kenny's one of the cast.
Okay.
I was
Yeah.
like, it just
Yeah.
is. It's just
So
happening.
maybe-
Or like you guys on Would I Lie to You or Taskmaster.
Yeah.
I'm like, I see
Yeah.
it. I see the
Yeah.
vision.
I would like to, again, still podcast. It's just like, I would love, I mean, obviously I'm a guest on your podcast, but like for us to be on other people's podcasts or like radio, stuff like that, just as a like us as a thing, as an entity, would be really cool.
I was going to say, do you know what I think would be so fun? Because I obviously have you on. I'm also going to have Kenny on, like when she's finished with doing her shows and stuff. And I was like, I also think it would be so fun to have you both on, like at the same time, and kind of like talk through things like more as a unit, kind of like as your brand, as like a living.
That's the thing, like it's so weird to say like brand, but I would love us to become a brand. Like, So we've got plenty of ideas and we've got the drive for the podcast, so that's fun. And like I said, we're like 6 weeks into it basically, which feels weird.
Yeah.
But so anything can happen. But all good things, hopefully.
But I also love that even though it's only 6 weeks in, you have these big dreams for it, and you have to. I mean, I think in like anything in life, but especially like creative stuff, you get out of it what you put into it, and people will see that and they will see your passion for it and the ideas that you have, and that you're consistent with it and you're there every week and you're putting in the effort. That goes a long way with people and like building that like kind of audience and community there.
Absolutely. And then I think like writing wise, it's just to write, I guess. Like I've not had much time like at the beginning of the year because mainly of the podcast and kind of going away, but now we've got a schedule and we're kind of banking episodes and editing's down to a fine art. Like
it's a full-on production.
It's I just need like more time to kind of just focus on my stuff as well, which I now have. So it's just at the moment I'm kind of going through old stuff and revamping it, bringing it up to date a bit, and then I think maybe I'll have a portfolio that I'm ready to send out to people, I guess.
That's so exciting.
And then I'm like really trying not to start anything new until that's done. Like I'm still coming up with ideas, kind of bullet pointing and just rough drafts and things like that, but I'm not putting like everything into those ideas yet because I just want to get everything else ready. So I think everything, it's just like, I think motto for this year is just like give it a go and go for it, I think.
But I love it as well because I'm kind of like, obviously it's like a little outside of the bubble, and I'm like watching you do those things. Like I'm watching you do the podcast and post it every week, and going to these networking events and really just being like, and you, to be fair, you've kind of always been like that. You've done the like the Alan Carr set and the EastEnders thing and the all of that, the ideas that you have, and you have so many like creative things that you always try, and I just love that. I love watching you not just say, oh, this would be a nice thing to do, or this is something I kind of want to, I want to pursue it, but it's whatever. You're like, no, I'm going to the events, I'm taking the opportunities for myself, and I love that. So I'm like, it's only, what is it? It's only the second month, barely.
Exactly.
And you're like, I've been to a networking event, I started a podcast, I'm like, I'm getting guests on my podcast. I love it. I'm like sat here like, you go, King.
So, someone's got to do it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, might as well be me.
No one's going to do it for me, so I've got to get in there.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so then, the questions I ask everybody, what is your favourite TV show?
I was really thinking hard about this, and I was like going to try and be really like, I don't know, something really cool and groundbreaking, but like it is just is Doctor Who. Like it just is, even when it's bad, even when I'm not in love with it, like it just still is. Like I think if you ask anyone in my life, they would say it's Doctor Who. Even if I'm like, well, yeah, but they'd be like, no, it's Doctor Who. I'd be like, yeah, okay. I'm literally wearing a Doctor Who t-shirt, so like.
You're like, how could I have said anything else? I'd just be kidding myself.
And like
my close personal friend, the Doctor. How could I not?
But like
say
when
it?
like, I go to conventions and meet people from Doctor Who. When I watch Doctor Who when I'm feeling low or when I'm ill or like have nothing to do on a Sunday, like it's always Doctor Who that I come back to. Like lots of my friendships are built on that. My career is built on loving that. Like we spoke about, like it just. There's no point trying to be clever when it's the fact. Like, it just is that.
It just is what it is. So then, again, doesn't have to be from Doctor Who, but can be. Who is your favourite TV character?
So then I thought, well, is it the Doctor? But it's not. I've been a bit clever with this one. My favourite TV character is Barry Allen from The Flash.
I can't lie. I thought it might have been Chandler Bing.
He was there. He was there. But I think, yeah, it just, like, Grant Gustin as Barry Allen, as the Flash.
I love him.
Like, him being important to me is kind of how much, like, Matt Smith is important to me as the Doctor as well. Like, I started watching The Flash when I was 14, and it ended in 2023. So that's like 11 years. That's 9 years of my life.
Yeah.
Like, from being a 14-year-old teenager to, like, an almost, like, fully fledged adult. Like, it's...
I was going to say, it's not just, like, 11 years of your life. Then I did it again. 9 years of your life. It's, like, to me, with Pretty Little Lies, it's 9 years of the most pivotal time in your life, when you're learning who you are and things are most likely to influence who you are. You kind of, like, when you grow up with a character in a show, it feels completely different to, like, if I was going to start, you know, like, watching a show now and watching it for 9 years.
And, like, I love Grant's portrayal of Barry Allen. I love the character. I love the development, all the storylines. I love The Flash as a TV series. But I actually met Grant last year, which, like
such a slave photo.
Because, like, Grant Gustin is, like, my idol. Like, everyone literally knows that. And to meet him...
I'm gonna include a picture of your, like, Flash tattoo as well.
That Flash tattoo right there.
Yeah.
So, like, I got to meet him with my friend. We became friends because of the Flash. Like, it's just as important to the both of us. So that was amazing. And then I basically didn't have... I wasn't able to purchase an autograph ticket, so I wasn't going to be able to, like, meet him and, you know, talk to him. And so I was like, oh god, like, I don't know what to do. So then when we got our photo with him, he spoke to us first. He noticed my friend was cosplayed as the Doctor, and he said, oh, you, like, dressed as Doctor Who? So I was like, he's talking to us, that's great. So I was like, oh, like, we became friends because of the Flash, and I showed him my tattoo. I was like, just really important to us, blah, blah, blah. And he was really lovely. We shook his hand. It was amazing. But because I knew I wasn't going to be able to get a chance to meet him, like, and get an autograph and kind of chat to him, I'd written him a letter, because I was just like, there's just so much I need to say to him. And just in that, I said to him, like, I've watched it since I was 14, from the start, you know, weekly. It was a show I always watched with my mum weekly. Like, it was important that way. But like we were saying, like, from 14 to 23, that was the show that I would come home to and watch on a Wednesday after school. It was the show I watched when people in my family were ill or passed away. It was the show I watched, you know, being heartbroken. It was the show I was watched and still inspired by when I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, like, make it in the TV and film industry, or it, through every emotion, through, you know, through COVID, through all of that. Like, that was the show that was new and fresh every year, every season. And I wrote that in my letter. I was just like, you, like, you and the show as a whole. And just the character of Barry, like, he was going through all of that while I was going through it as well. Well, you know, sure, he was a superhero, but, like, he had all that personal drama of the friends and the romance and the family as well. So yeah, I think it's he just, the character of Barry, like, influenced me a lot in, like, moral. Oh my god, I can't say it. Morals.
Yeah. I have so much to say about him. I need to get
in
it
my
out.
morals and, like, ethos and, like, just way of life and how I live my life is the character of Barry and Grant as well. So yeah, it's just...
Isn't it so funny how, like, that happens?
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, he's peering over my shoulder. John Smith's right there. But it's kind of a similar thing. Like, watched him on TV, like, every week. I sat down to watch Monday Night Raw, and he was going to be there. It's like that constant in your life that is, you know, no matter what you're going through, what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, that is going to be there for you. And yeah, that, like, going through and the charity work that he does and all that stuff, like, it's so funny how watching that and having that does kind of, like, shape who you are, and you almost don't realize it until
look back on it.
Something like that happens. Like, yeah, like when I met him, I did the same thing. I knew I was only going to see him for like maybe 10 seconds. So I did the same thing, wrote him a letter. I said, you know, can I give this to you? Is that okay? He said, yes, if I can shake your hand. I said, that's absolutely fine. Shook his hand, gave him a hug, gave him the letter, put it straight in his jorts. I was like, fabulous. Done what I came here to do. And yeah, it's like so funny. Like in that moment, you feel like, I know you. Like you had such a deep impact on me. To be able to say that is like, it's such a special moment. And then you go away from that, and when you're writing a letter like that, you think, wow, like you really did that.
Yeah, and it's
like,
it's funny. Like so when I'd written the letter, and then I didn't give it to him when I met him doing the photo, but I went up to the autograph desk, which was like, it was the autograph desk and then a long queue to like his desk where he was. So I went up to the window. I was like, I don't want to. Well, I do want to meet him, but like I can't meet him. I've got this letter. Can I like give it to someone? And she's like, oh, just like go down and put it on the desk. Like that's fine. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So luckily we
just go up to him.
Well, luckily he wasn't there yet, but we were meeting the person next to him, who was also from The Flash. So when we got closer, I was like, oh, I'll just like literally lean over and put it on the table. So I did that in an envelope, put it on the table, saw it, great. And then I literally watched him come back, sit down, look at the letter, and then like put it like in a bag or like a box with all these other like gifts and things. I was like, you know what? Even if I don't know if he reads it, the fact he's got it, like, you know, it's not like, you know, oh, I'll give it to someone and then just in the hope that they give it to him. He has seen it. He's put it into his thing.
To actually see that he physically held
I was
it.
Like, dream come true. I'm fine. I'm happy. So yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, I love it. There's like something so special about like cons and that like moment that you get to spend with people. Like when I was able to give like the Pretty Little Liars cast the dolls that I'd made of them, like for my book and everything. I'd done that, had like my pictures with them and everything, and it was so sweet and so nice. And then I'm like walking around after, and again they'd swapped over, so they'd done their photos and now they were all lined up, and I could see it. Like I could see the doll that I'd given Keegan Allen, like it was on his desk. Like he literally had obviously taken it with him and sat it right next to his picture as people were like coming up, and someone was like, oh, and he was like talking to them about it, like, and I was like, that is so crazy. Like to be like someone that I admire so much acknowledged like me and that I had that connection to them. I love it. And I think that's like what's going to be fun about your podcast and stuff as well, is that you were then almost like a bridge for like people in that sense of you can ask the questions that they want to know about these people and get to know them more. And I just think that's like such a fun like connection to have, like that human connection in that moment. You're like, oh, I watched them on TV for so long, but in that moment they are just a normal person, and you get to have,
and they've lived normal life up to that point as well, and trying to like, you know, especially when they're trying to just do their job that they want to do, like that they are just normal people with normal friends and family, like, and that's what we want to learn about as well, is how it all comes together and how people get through it, really.
Yeah, I love that. He's dream guest. Surely he's on the list. He's got to be on the list.
That one will be like 6 hours long.
Yeah, he's number one on the list. And then lastly is a show that you've been watching or a movie that you saw recently that you would recommend.
I would recommend, so it's obviously award season, best season. And I'm trying to get through all of like best picture nominees and best actor nominees and all that sort of stuff.
Matt's brother does the same thing. He watches all the nominations.
I watched Blue Moon because I think Ethan Hawke is nominated for best actor. And it's really, it's a bit like a play. It's just set in one location. It's in real time. It's just this man, the character's name escapes me, but it's a real person. He's a theatre writer or a musical writer, and it's set in a New York bar, and he's just discussing his life basically with the bartender, somebody else at the bar, the piano player, and then like this woman who's at this party that's going on, and then basically this musical opens that night that his previous writing partner has worked on and written with somebody else, so he's like feeling very secluded and kind of it's almost like he's lost in that industry and his career, and he's kind of like, I don't know what to do next, and he's just striving for something, and it's just like captivating because it's just in real time. It almost feels just like a long monologue of one person. Like the supporting characters don't really have much to say, but it's just beautiful and it's shot so nicely. And I think it's, especially as a writer, someone interested in theatre, creative, it's a lot of conversations of just kind of that, like, not to plug the podcast, but like living the dream and kind of getting where you want to be, and then how quick that can kind of be taken away from you, or how you keep it going. And yeah, I don't think it's that long, maybe 2 hours, maybe a little bit less. And yeah, I think if you watch it, you'll just be like, you're just in the world of it immediately. It's just brilliant.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to win?
I don't think so, because I'm hoping for Timothée Chalamet. So
yeah,
like,
I'm waiting because I feel like unless you already did it and I missed it, but I feel like every year you do your predictions, who you think
I've got like
win.
a month to get through all the others. There's not a lot now, but I'm trying. But like, yeah, I just think,
please do a podcast episode where you go through who you think.
It's funny because if I do that, Kenny will have no idea, because like Kenny is so like out of the loop about films and stuff. But yeah, I'll do a predictions and a reaction. But I just think like I mean, Timothée Chalamet is like dream guest, because he, especially with Marty Supreme, like he's gone all in with the promotion, and like he's just like selling himself as
the whole thing with Susan
Boyle
so
and like
funny.
all this like he's a
You do have that link though, because Kenny loves the Kardashians.
True. Yeah.
And he's dating Kylie Jenner, so she'll be interested.
So we'll get
a little.
one, like I'll try for Timothy. Kenny can try for Kylie, and then we'll just see which one converges first, or we'll just get them both on. That'd be great. But yeah, he just, like, I think last year when he won an award for the Bob Dylan film, he said like he said in his speech like he's striving for greatness and he wants to be one of the greats, and it's like, hell yeah, like I believe it and say it.
I remember that speech. I loved it.
Like there's so like,
because so many people saw that and were like, oh, he's so like full of himself, or he's so whatever. I think Matthew McConaughey had a similar speech like back, I can't remember what he won it for, but he basically had a similar sentiment of like, I want to be my favorite like actor in this, like I want to win these things, I want to be the best that I can be. And it's like, of course you do. It's like, no, like you of course you want to win.
No one in that industry
win the Oscar.
You all want to be the best.
So it's like, why can't you just say it? Like, manifest that. Like, be like, I'm good at this. I want to win it.
And my favourite thing about that speech, I can't remember it word for word, but I think, like, he mentions, like, the greats he wants to aspire to be like, and most of them are female actresses. Like, I'm sure he mentions Viola Davis, maybe Meryl, like, and it's like, wow, yeah, you're striving for greatness, but your inspirations are these female people who are incredible. But yeah, I think like I don't know if he's maybe the most like deserving of it this year, but I just feel like he can and like should win. Like he's like, a lot of people they talk about like legacy wins. So like if an actor or actress wins an award, you know, very far into their career, and maybe it's not the best role they've ever played, or they're the best person in that category, but it's sort of like the Academy is like, like they deserve it for everything else. It's not just for this role that they're doing. Like I actually haven't watched The Revenant, which is what Leonardo DiCaprio finally won the Oscar for.
I was just about to say, I feel like that was Leo, and also kind of like Jamie Lee Curtis. I know a lot of people were saying maybe that wasn't the role they would have given it to her for.
And it's like, maybe that shouldn't be how it works, but also, these people do deserve these awards. But I feel like with Timothy, it's like he's put in the work for the last 10 years already. Like starting from like Call Me by Your Name, Beautiful Boy, June, Complete Unknown, like all of that. Like he kind of does deserve it for each one of those roles anyway. it's kind of one of those things like, yeah, like give him the award and then like he's cool. Like, and then he can just do what he likes for the rest of his life and like just do all these different roles.
He won't be Leo, who never that was his whole thing was he'd never won the Oscar.
Give him the Oscar like early in his career and then we don't have to worry about it until he's like 60 again and then give him another one. Like, it's fine. But I think he's also one of those people, like, he'll win the award and then he'll still film like 4 films a year. Like, he won't just like, okay, well, I've won the award, I'll just chill for a bit. He will just keep going and going and going. So fingers crossed. But I think there's a lot of actors in that category that deserve it. I feel like with every year, I'm like, I don't really care who wins because they do all actually deserve it.
Like they're nominated for a reason.
Yeah.
These are all incredible performances.
So I'm excited. I still don't know whether to take the day off work on the Monday to watch the ceremony. I've done like that a few times. Once where I only like worked 4 days a week, so I had like the Monday off. I think there was one like where I was still at school and I was like, I'll just come in later. Like, I just wanted to watch like first thing.
I've done that before. When I was like deep in my like K-pop phase, like especially back in media, they had the awards. They called them like the Mama Awards or something. They're called. I can't remember what the abbreviation stands for, but it was literally during the day, and I was like, I'm staying home to watch this. I'm sorry. I'm like, I want to watch this award show so bad. It means that much to me. It's worth the day off.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm excited to see. Yeah, I'm rooting for Timothy always anyway. So fingers crossed.
Love that. Oh my gosh, it's like been like almost 3 hours actually.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
How long are you expecting this to be, or you know?
Well, so I've done 2 already. Okay. The first one was an hour and 40 minutes, and the second one was just over an hour.
Let's do mine in like 3 parts.
It'd be like Rimo's part 1, the early life. Part 2, the writing process. Part 3, Timothy Chalamet deserves the Oscar.
My green tea has gone stone cold.
Absolutely.
I was like, I drunk it halfway through, and I was like, nope, that's gonna put that down actually.
Your parents are gonna be like, is he coming back out?
Or... I was just like, if you do dinner for like 7:30, I'll be here. So
I know, I said that to Matt as well. I was literally like to him, I was like, maybe like an hour or so from now, like it'll be fine. Yeah. My dinner's absolutely stone cold, but it's
stick in the microwave.
I've had a fabulous
time. Oh, it's great. I had a lovely time.
Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the Pretty and Witty podcast. Please make sure to go and follow and support all the guests that I have spoken to, not just today, but throughout this entire series. There are so many amazing creators out there, and I'm so excited to keep talking to them. And I hope you guys will subscribe to this channel. I will see you guys next week for another episode.
Okay, see you again next week. Love you, bye.